What's the motherfucking deal, man? First, I guess. What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. Thank you for allowing me to be your host this evening. If you don't know, now you know. I am Ed Honcho. And tonight in the den, man, we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about this double standard. You know, and I guess it depends on what side you're looking at it. Because I think you could say the same thing. There were people with Bill who said he didn't do it as opposed to people who said he did. And kind of vice versa. In this situation, I don't think you can say that he didn't, that Cardi B didn't because she admitted to doing it. But we're going to talk about the double standard between Cardi B and Bill Cosby and how people are trying to skew this argument the wrong way. We'll also are going to talk about, let me know if the audio a little bit low. Let me see if that helps out a little bit. Let me know how that sounds. We're also going to talk about, okay, let me see what we got here. Give me just a second. One. This shouldn't even be a thing. All right, let me see. That's not right. All right, so I'll try to speak a little bit louder. I guess that may be part of the problem. We'll turn this up just a little bit here. But we're going to talk about the Cardi B situation. We're going to talk about the... that's why. Let me know how that sounds. Is that any better? Like I said, I don't know. There's a bunch of shit going on. Like I said, I don't know. I've been tweeting all kind of bullshit. I don't know what's what right now. Let's just get into the conversation, man. So, man, one, it's good to see all of y'all. It's really, really low. Sounds the same. God damn. Yeah, I see that. Sounds like real fucking low. Why the fuck is that goddamn low? Must be maybe the things. I put like a little dilly dally on it, but I don't know. Let's see. What's the motherfucking deal, man? What's going down? My boy Taylor Made 360 in the mix. But let's get into the conversation, man. Let's see what friends of the den we have joining us tonight, man. As y'all can see, I'm still been working with the camera and all of this. It's just a bunch of shit. We'll get all as we go along. I ain't gonna worry about all that right now. But like I say, see what friends of the den are joining us. Make sure that you're following the den on all the proper socials. Facebook.com/DenShowLive, Instagram and Twitter. Different platforms, same name. At Den Show Live. If you want to follow my personal account, you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at HonchoHTX. If you ever want to reach out to the Den, even when we're not live, you can always send an email, denshowlive@gmail.com, or you can call 1-833-284-3336, 1-833, the number 2, the Den is the easy way to remember that. Or you can just if you want to tell a friend about the Den, tell them to go to denshow.com. If you want to tell them how to catch us live at 10 p.m. Central every night, tell them to go to denshow.com/live, and it will bring them right to the show. Excuse me. Again, I apologize for your ears if you're getting all fucked up. Shout out to everybody who's been showing love to the Den as we continue to pursue our goal. If you want to donate to the Den, you go to streamlabs.com/the-den-show and donate. And shout out to Stina Starry-Eyed and anybody who's interested in becoming a Patreon supporter. You go to patreon.com/the-den-show and, become a monthly pledge. And everybody who's been showing love, like I said, has been greatly appreciated as we work our way to building up a bigger and better show. This little green fleck is fucking pissing me off. So I got to fix this shit. And there we go. Get it right. We're going to dive into it. But like I'm saying, man, go see which friends in the Den are joining us this evening. You dengenerates, you denizens, the Den folk. I think that's a little bit better. All right, there we go. Let's make a shake. And let's see what we got with us this evening, man. Let me set this up like so. There we go. That light's all in my face and shit. So I say Culture Anubis, Just Sarah, Cartier White, what's the motherfucking deal? Jaja, Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? Broderick Brooks, Heidi, Miss Thang, what's the motherfucking deal? Jared Key, McVice, 335, Rashida Reed, holding it down, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Sweetberry, what's the motherfucking deal? Captain Diggler, Vincent, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Badbot 21, what's the motherfucking deal? Debo, Cavity Creep. Dr. Rabbit. Let me see. Taylor Made. Balin, what's the motherfucking deal? And I don't know about Balin. I might take my shit back. You talking about Queen Wave and all that shit. That's a little weird. I'm not thinking I'm gonna take my what's the motherfucking deal back. My Town Trio, what's the motherfucking deal, man? All right, so here's the deal, man. So like you're having second thoughts about reporting it. That's terrible. I don't know about all that, Heidi. Shame on you. What's the motherfucking deal? Rob Myers, Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? But let's talk about it, man. Let's get into this conversation because this thing has been going on a couple of days. We've touched on it here and there. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of, do and don't want to talk about it. But we kind of have to talk about it. Because, look, hey, we're going to chase a little clout before all the fucking stories die out, goddamn. Eastside Hero, what's the motherfucking deal? Joseph, what's the motherfucking deal? So, Cardi B, some things have resurfaced. And it's funny how now that is resurfaced, you're talking about, that was a couple of years ago. That was a few years back, right? It's old stuff. But we're talking about R. Kelly. We're talking about Bill Cosby. We're talking about some of these other allegations against people that people want to bring back from decades ago, right? And none of these have been admitted by the people that they're against. Cardi B made these allegations against herself. You know what I'm saying? And so, one, Jenny, be quiet and listen. You might learn something. Because nobody said anything about rape. All right? We're talking about the drugging. And so that's what you got to understand. You can't drug somebody against their will and say it's okay. Like, that's what I'm sitting here talking about. Nobody said anything about rape. Nobody gives a shit about that because I'm sure there was other things going on in that. So you can talk about if a fucking woman says she'll accept money for sex, Sean, what's the motherfucking deal? That is that is soliciting of prostitution. That's illegal, right? Okay. So what you got to understand is what she did is like, quit trying to justify this broad like she didn't do anything bad. She admitted to robbery. She admitted to drugging people against their will and soliciting sex, even though she really wasn't intending to have it, right? Even if you sell somebody fake dope, you're going to get in trouble for that shit. So this is what I'm saying. You like, let's stop trying to, well, she didn't rape anybody. Who gives a fuck? She committed a bunch of other fucking crimes. I would be honest, like, let's stop with the nonsense, right? Like, stop trying to justify this whack ass broad with this nonsense, man. Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? So my thing is, like, I don't listen to none of this shit. All this shit is trash. It's all trash. I don't listen to none of it because it's all trash. So stop comparing, this rapper to this rapper. It's all trash. And we support this shit. Well, let's defend anybody. Like, fuck all that shit, man. Like, here's my deal with this. I'm not validating these new fucking rappers because they're making and the thing about Cardi is super different because, well, let's have her speak at the Democratic Convention. Let's prop her up. Let's have her the face of all this other stuff, right? She's the representation of women in society today. She's the #1 female artist right now. Like, this ain't no comparison to Nicki Minaj is trash too. She's a plastic fucking, she might as well be prostitute. All that shit is trash. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, did Nicki Minaj come out and admit? We're not even talking about a rap song, right? We're not talking about a rap song. We're talking about what she admitted she did in her real life, okay? And so the fact that you sit there and said, I've set people up, let's have the same energy, same motherfuckers we're having for fucking Bill. My thing is, let's stop the nonsense, right? I talk about dirt, I talk about dumb shit that I've done in my past, but I'm not glorifying it. When I speak on it, I'm saying, hey, you youngsters, stop, don't do the dumb shit that I'm doing. She spoke on that shit like she had no other fucking choice. Bitch, you could have went working Mickey D's. When I got jammed up, got in a bad situation, I could have kept doing dirt, or I could have motherfucking went and I went to Mickey D's. Because I'm like, hey, you know, the way I'm living, the way I'm doing is not right. So there's no excuse about no fucking, I had no other way. If you listen to what she said, she talked about a couple of things. This is why this bitch is trash, right? But we want to protect her. She's fucking lame. Anybody supporting this shit is lame too. Don't like how, if you don't like how I feel about it, I don't give a fuck. She's talking about she had, you know, a couple of $1,000s in her savings account, but she wanted more, right? Talking about, so she had this number in her mind. How are you a stripper and you need to rob people? Like, so how trash are you at stripping that you motherfucking me? You know what I'm saying? She the one said the shit. You get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't have to be here. You don't like what I'm saying, you can bounce. Like, that's easy shit. Like, that's the easiest thing you do. Hit that dislike button and bounce. This bitch said herself, I wanted more money. I had $2,000. I had all these nice purses, right? But I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker here basically said, she wasn't hurting. She admitted she wasn't hurting. She just wanted more. How the fuck are you a stripper and broke? Making bad life decisions, obviously. I'm not knocking no stripper. Get your fucking money, man. I ain't knocking the hustle. I know plenty of motherfuckers who fucking stripped and then they made better than, I know a shit ton more than motherfuckers who stripped it. They busted and got a bunch of kids at home and they living foul right now. But my thing is, I'm not knocking the stripping. I'm not even knocking the prostitution, man. I don't care. If it's two willing parties doing what adults want to do, I don't give a fuck about that. But when you violate somebody else, that's when it becomes a fucking problem. Okay? When you look, hey, if you want to hold yourself out, get your money bouncing. But if you scamming and robbing, ain't no love for that shit. That's dirtbag shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock a hustler. If you giving somebody what they want in exchange for some type of financial compensation, or y'all both parties are leaving the deal with what the fuck they want, that's one thing, right? But when you talking about, I'm greedy and I want more shit. This bitch said, I got my tits done already. By the time I was 19, I had my tits done. I had all these nice bags. You know, I'm looking around, I got all these popping ass shoes, this language I don't fucking use. I got all this popping ass shit in this apartment. You know, I was 20, I wanted more money. So that's why she did it. There's not no fucking justification. She wasn't hurting. She wasn't fucking hurting at this point in time. Like, you know, nah, what shit? No, hell no. I ain't paying for no pussy, goddammit. But my thing about this is, one, if you got played, that's on you. You know what I mean? But my thing is this. Let's have the same energy. When she fucking bragged about the shit, she admitted to committing crimes, right? She admitting to doing dirt, harming people, and doing all this shit. I told you, I like hoes. I still like hoes. I don't like Cardi B. She's trash to me. I don't listen to her fucking music. She looks kind of like a tranny in my opinion. But, you know, she even said some weird shit like that, talking about having a threesome with a nigga, and she gonna set a nigga up with a tranny and some shit like that. You know, and then when he wake up, yeah, we had a threesome with a tranny. Like, the bitch is suspect and scandalous to me, dog. Like, I have no love for that bullshit. I have no love that these motherfuckers you try to put as the face of the next generation, and then try to put these and say little girls need to grow up and be like, man, fuck no. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck no, man. There's so many other better role models out there. But this is what we want to push forward. This is the face that we want to make, the representation of women in this society. What kills me the most is that all the black women that cape for this bitch, and she don't even like black motherfuckers. She like black dudes. She don't like black women. She call y'all motherfuckers roaches and shit. She said, you know, all this shit she talked about, motherfuckers steadily putting her up on a pedestal, man. Like, come on, like, stop with the nonsense. But like I say, motherfuckers gonna cape for whoever they want to cape. We were mad at Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby said, hey, niggas, you got to get your shit together, man. You got to stop doing some of this shit that makes us look a certain way, that puts us in a negative light. Niggas was mad at Bill Cosby for that shit. Niggas was mad at Bill Cosby because he was talking about facts. He was like, hey, man, represent yourself in a better way. You know, I ain't telling him, he was talking about, oh, we got to stop all the cussing and all that other stuff. You know, Eddie Murphy said, fuck you. I ain't mad at him for that, but it is, that's his opinion. You ain't got to follow everything. But the thing is that Bill Cosby was trying to set a better example. He wasn't telling motherfuckers to come on, that he wasn't telling motherfuckers to go out robbing and stealing, because this bitch, they put her as this representation of the common woman, the goals that you want to be, right? But then when she do all this stuff, you telling little girls to follow her, you telling little girls she's an inspiration and all this other stuff, man. It's like, come on, man. Like, I can't justify that. Because, I don't care if it was a couple of years, you see your little daughter started to think, Cardi B is wagging, I'm glad. Shout out to Phoenix Nation. I think it's my first time seeing you, so welcome to the den. We're all friends in the den, even though we may or may not agree, you know, and whoever else getting mad about it, like I say, we may or may not agree. That's why we're going to open up the line. Y'all can call in and spill your own thoughts about it because we're going to keep it 100 in the den. But my thing is just that, man, look, I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I let the little one listen to some fucking Cardi B music with that trash shit. Like, you know, and this is why we have the problems that we have. Not even just we. I think women have a different set of problems. You know, women are always talking about we need more support in this. Why is the two of the biggest entertainers don't even fuck with each other? They fighting and shit. They don't come together. Men don't do this. Men, they have beef. Like, it's going to be one thing. You're going to get wiped out, you know, and that's usually because it's some old sideline niggas in the, you know, adding fuel to the flames. But when it comes down to two men having a conversation, they motherfucking me hash that shit out. They don't end up becoming best friends or nothing like that. Sometimes they may start working together, whatever. They see, hey, okay, it's bigger than us. Let's get this money. But why is it that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj can't coexist, right? You know? Yeah, I saw some shit they was talking about Monostat 7 and as I was putting the little tags on the video, all that shit was popping up. You know, it was like little related shit. I'm talking about Monostat 7, Coochie Stank, and all that other shit. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. So my thing is this. I like a woman with a lot of money. I don't care. Her money is my money. My money is my money. We all, you know, we all happy. So ain't nothing wrong with that goddamn cool water, man. Fuck the Newports though. But my thing is this, man. My thing is this. Why isn't it the same? Bill had to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit. All these allegations. And the thing is, I don't expect men to really come out and say a bunch because it's embarrassing as a man. You know, you got did bad by a bra. So it's embarrassing as a man, but it's okay as a woman. I'm not gonna say okay. But, you know, we already put women in the victim roles, right? And so, you know, it's like, okay, well, it's, you know, women are more apt to come out. But even though they weren't coming out until it seemed like a just gang of them came out like you stepped on a pile of ants or some shit. And then they fucking, they just start coming out the woodworks like we had never seen these motherfuckers before. Yes, I tried to get an audition and Bill gave me a pill and now we're here. But, you know, my thing is this, man. You know, my thing is this. It's bullshit, it's shenanigans, but we always want to talk about equality. But when it comes down to crime, when it comes down to punishment, when it comes down to certain gigs, women don't want that same fucking... They don't want that same male treatment. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that same treatment. They want that special treatment. They want all the perceived goods about being a man, but they don't want none of the negatives. And that's unfortunate. And that's where we're at. If a man would have said, fuck all the rape, right? Fuck all the rape. Let's take rape out of it. Because see, that's when people start trying to come in and push it. Well, she didn't rape anybody. I ain't never say fuck it. I didn't got the stream barely get started. Somebody coming in talking about raping. I didn't say shit about raping anybody. Like the whole intention of coming into this stream was not to talk about rape. Let's just talk about the other things that she did. Well, anyway, what is rape? Taking something from somebody unwillingly. Shit, you robbing somebody, that's a financial rape, goddamn. That's a fucking wallet rape, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So here's the deal. Let's talk about it though, and then we're gonna open up the line and let y'all spill y'all's, you know, thoughts on this thing. You can tell what time of the year it is. You know, it was officially fucking spring, so y'all know how to y'all know how to get in the den studio in the garage. It's gonna start getting fucking hot. Y'all Bill in there hitting them weights, man. Take his jello if you want to. So my thing is this though. Everybody had jokes about, you know, Bill with the pills, right? It was all fun and games. A lot of these women, they didn't pass out. They may have been drugged and had, you know, been more susceptible to some of this stuff. I don't believe all of them were raped, honestly, and that's just me. Like, that's just me. I think a lot of them went with intentions of getting something. I think a lot of them were willing. They didn't get what they want, so now the story changed. He didn't make himself look good by throwing pills their way. These men approached Cardi with intentions of getting something, and instead of them getting what they wanted, they got peeled up. And she run off with their wallet or whatever. It's hoes that's out here doing it in the city. It's hoes doing it all over the place, stealing cars and money and doing all other kind of shit, setting niggas up, you know, at the hotel, had their partners come through, rob them. That's all kind of shit is happening. So I'm not Like, this ain't nothing new. But the fact that you a celebrity and you go out and you admit some shit like this, you bragging on it. That's my thing. Like, if she'd have been remorseful about that shit and been like, you know, man, I did some fucked up shit in my day, instead of trying to make it, but I had to eat, I didn't have no other options. Then you must have been you had to be like the shittiest stripper ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to be the shittiest stripper ever. If you were stripping and you had no other options, does she have kids? Like, I don't even know. Like I said, I don't really keep up like that. But if you had no other options, you ain't had no kids at the time, and you wasn't making adequate money stripping, like, stop with the nonsense, man. Stop with the nonsense. Like, you actually, man, you had to make some money. If you bought some titties, you buying all these purses, you doing all this other shit. She talking about she had money in her mind. She had a number in her mind she wanted to achieve. So that's why she did all that other shit, man. So that's what I'm saying is, like, the shit is fucking stupid. The shit is fucking, like, as you grow and you get older, you realize what you did and you make, damn, that was dumb. You know, that shit wasn't cool, you know. I did it. You know, I'm not telling you admit to what you did either, you know, don't talk about it, but you got to learn to say, hey, you know, don't do these things I did, whatever, it wasn't worth it. But see, she didn't have any repercussions, and there were no repercussions for her. And so that's what happens when people never have to face those repercussions. They feel a particular way about themselves. And that's what happened. She never had to suffer for any of the shit she did. She got famous off of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. She looked, I'll be honest, dog. Like, I know hoes like Cardi B, dog. Like, if she didn't have money, she didn't go buy them titties and whatever she did to her butt cheeks, you know, if she didn't go in and fix herself up, she wouldn't be where she's at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see that hoes literally come out the woodworks caping for Cardi. Like, look, don't make me pull the picture up again. I know y'all want to see it. Don't make me pull the picture up again. But all I'm saying is this, man. The shit is trash. The mentality is trash. And I can't support the shit because with Bill, never said he did anything. He didn't admit to guilt, you know. People came out the woodworks. R. Kelly, people came out the woodworks. People talking about, well, that was 2 or 3 years ago that happened. Okay. R. Kelly shit was what, 98? What was that? 20 years ago? You know what I'm saying? They talking about from 98 to 2000. That's 20 years, to decades. Decades, and he ain't admitting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But she talking about 2 or 3 years ago, and people trying to act like, oh, man, it's you know, it was a long time ago. It wasn't that fucking long ago. Shit. It really wasn't that fucking long ago. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, but all I'm saying, man, is this. It don't really sway me either way because I don't listen to the shit. But I just want the motherfucking same energy that we giving and we clowning Bill and R. Kelly and all this. But then it's a lot of these same women that I've seen, and I'm not saying it here, but I've seen in other platforms and things. Now that it's switched, well, you know, and they ain't got shit to say. This bitch told on herself, right? She fucking told on herself. I can't stand her fucking voice either. That's why I say it's like, I can't, like, I don't even want to hear anything with her on it. Like I say, and that's why I say even listening to them videos where she telling on herself or talking about setting a nigga up with a tranny and all that dumb shit. Like, that shit was hard to listen. It wasn't even more than a minute or two. And that shit was hard for me to listen to because her voice is annoying as shit. But all I'm saying is this, man. Leave the rape out of it. Leave the rape out of it. She admitted to robbing and drugging niggas. But the thing is, you know, no face, no case. So if no nigga comes forward and says, hey, you know, this happened to me, no nigga come forward with proof of the shit, you know, then it ain't gonna be nothing. I mean, there's nothing to worry about. And I'm gonna be honest, most niggas are not going to come out and say anything. You know what I'm saying? But it's a robbery. That's a wallet rape shit. So it's a robbery, goddamn. That's what the rape was. Friends in the den, I gotta tell y'all something. I gotta admit something to y'all, okay? I gotta tell y'all something, friends in the den, and got some good news for some bad news for the others, okay? My last $2 I wasn't finna use, man. One was some bus fare, other one's for the jukebox to hear me some blues. But here's the deal, though. All right. So here's the good news, bad news. Depends on what side of the aisle you're on, man. So I tried to. Damn it, 335. I think 335 got a camera in my in the den. Like every time I finish say something 335, I already know. You've been watching too long, goddamn. But yeah, man, I tried to save the hours. I went back, was checking the old hard drives and shit, but apparently, I guess I cleared that shit off of there before I thought so. So everybody's basically starting equal at the time now. You know what I'm saying? So. I mean, y'all all on the same platform, but along with the hours, all the pistachios gone too. So your hours, your pistachios, all that shit is, you know, is all gone. Blame Cardi B. She stole all the hours, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how that works. But that's one thing. You think the den is bad, though. Imagine the sauce shit gone too. And I got to find a whole new bot to use for the sauce because that shit is out of there. So I'm still kind of fixing some of the stuff for that and trying to get all that back in order. So, but now everybody's starting even. Everybody's got a fair shot at being, I don't know, king of the den, queen of the den, or however you want to look at it. You can be whatever you want to be. But let's get this line open, man. Let's get some calls in. I want to know how y'all feeling. I want to know what y'all thinking. Give me just a second. Let's get it tooted and booted. But yeah, so like I said, I got the old games are not there. A couple of the games are, but the steel is not there. The bully's not there anymore. So I got to redo those. The socks ain't there no more. I think the Rumble is still there, but I think it's, you know, I think challenge or whatever it is. I don't remember what it was, fight or challenge or something like that. Challenge should still be there. But basically everybody's starting from the bottom with the same level of hours. And instead of hours now to reach a certain status, it's going to be by the number of pistachios you have instead of hours. So that way, you know, if you a hustler, you're going to get your pistachio game up, and you get your pistachio game up, shit, you know, you can be top of the tower. So here's the deal, man. Let's get it open. Let's get it going. Let's see what's shaking, man. Let me put this line up here, and let's get some calls in and see how y'all feeling. What's on your mind? What are y'all thinking? Excuse me. Excuse me. But lady, this is what's the motherfucking deal. But hey, but technically, even though there was no rape, doesn't that still make her a sexual predator if she's using sex to prey on somebody? That still makes her a predator, right? Because she uses sex, using her body to get somebody to go somewhere, a mark, a trick, or whatever, go to a room. She's using sex to sell it to him. Then she robs him, right? That's still a sexual predator, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. Alrighty, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening? Okay, hold on 1 second before I hit you with the Roman. Let me make sure everything is look, I caught it before we got started. Let me I think some of these things and switched up because I've been switching all kind of shit around. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Bow. All right, there we go. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
It's your boy Roman.
Already, Roman. What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
Man, let me tell you something, it's about to be a Roman rant tonight, man. Because I'm irritated, bro. I'm irritated because I feel like this thing is a double standard, Honcho.
Okay, what
you know, I feel like with Cardi B, if I hear one more goddamn time she did it to survive, she still stole from a man. She still drugged people. And even though she technically probably raped them, she got technically a tranny to rape those men because that's not with their consent. They were drugged. So, yeah, all that goes back on her. I want to hear she did that to survival. You are a stripper. Niggas throw thousands of dollars in the strip club. Niggas get it on in the strip club, okay? Niggas gonna throw them bands when they got it.
What strip club you done been into, man?
Hold up, man. Hold up. That's none of your business, Honcho. I just know facts. I'll just say that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But people throw a lot of money in the strip club. That's all I'm gonna say. You know. And if the thing is, you telling me you don't have enough money to pay for this stuff, to get the house you want, to get the money, to get the purses, the shoes, and all the house and car to provide for yourself? No, it's greed. You were greedy. You wanted more. I want to bet you, Cardi, she had the goddamn money to live nicely, you know, because Cardi got the fake ass, the titties, what niggas want to see. She got what you want to see. She wanted more. So she thought a way. She know people come to her. Yeah, she had jacked up teeth. But like say, with some niggas, they start looking at assets, and that's all they care about. You know? And I feel like she wanted more. And it was greed. And I feel like what she did is just as bad as what Bill Cosby did. Number one, when it comes to Bill Cosby, these women came out the woodworks. I do feel like some of them were lying. And because you look at all the facts and breaking down that Bill Cosby case was all over the place. I ain't got time for that. But you know the case. You know, I feel like with that case, it was also about money with Bill Cosby. You know, come on, man. The man was worth millions and millions. And don't forget Twisted when this man was trying to buy, what was it, NBC? And they did not like Bill Cosby trying to buy NBC, man. And I feel like that was put stigma on him to where they didn't like him. You know, so how we don't know if they was trying to target Bill Cosby, man. Now, do I feel like he done something shit? Yeah. You know, but what man hasn't, man? What man hasn't done worse? You know, and plus you trying to grab this man 30 years later, bro. But after the Me Too movement, now let's get Bill Cosby 30 years later. You know, now let's get Michael Jackson 10 years later. Now let's get R. Kelly 15 years, 20 years later, man. It's a plot, bro. Why are you trying to grab these men when these men is out there low? Like, Michael's dead. R. Kelly don't make music no more. And Bill Cosby an old-ass man. But y'all trying to get him. You know? And I'm bringing it back to the Cardi situation. Because, no one, her shit ain't that long ago. Her shit only 2-3 years ago. Cardi only been popping for a good 2 years. You know? And I feel like it's a double standard because she's a woman. I don't want to hear that shit. Just because she's a woman don't mean anything she done wasn't just as wrong as what Bill Cosby or what R. Kelly has done. She deserves anything she gets. Now, she gonna get off. She gonna get off because no man's gonna come forward and say they was drugged and had sex with a tranny. That is just dumbing down a man's, you know, being a man, you know, masculinity. You had sex with a tranny. No man's about to come out with that shit. You know, so she's gonna get away with it, but I just feel like there is a double standard, and we need to stop letting our daughters and our sisters listen to this music because she's teaching a bad message on black women. She's not really even fucking black, but she's teaching this horrible message, you know. And we gotta take a stand and start looking at these powerful black women and not people like Cardi B and Nicki because she trash too. So you basically everything I said, Honcho. I'm about to straight hit the 5 minutes. So it's your boy Roman, and I'm out, man.
I really appreciate the call there, Roman.
Anytime.
Already. Man. That's all I'm saying, man. Man. And that's the thing, man. You know, but in this day and age, somebody gonna come out the woodwork. Somebody gonna say, well, you know, I woke up the next day, my butt wasn't feeling right, and I was groggy, and my wallet was gone, my keys, my car was gone. Just, you know, this day and age, motherfuckers don't give a fuck for some fame. They gonna say whatever. They go. If they think they can get something out of Cardi, they gonna say whatever. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Oh my gosh, you got me in the middle of eating my food.
What you eating over there?
Sean is calling in.
Already, Sean, what you want to drop in the den this evening?
Couple things. First of all, I'm about 2 days late, so I'm going to do like a whole rundown.
Okay.
First of all, last night I was so tired I couldn't get in, but I wanted to get in on Juicy Sweet Britches Jesse. Sweet Britches got off on our asses from 16 felony counts. That is absolutely unheard of in any man's mind, especially a black man's mind. So what that tells us, there is total and complete corruption in our justice system. And if I got on the line yesterday, I would have said it's not a white privilege, black privilege. You know, we got all up into that shit. I do believe in white privilege, though, so I'm against you on that. Okay. So I'm not going against that. But in this particular case, he got off, and what we need to look at is that what this brother did, even in the modern day time, what he did was equivalent to attributed to towns being burned down. Oklahoma, Emmett Till whistling at a white woman, all on some kind of fake narrative. So that's why I take it so serious and a little bit more personal. And I think the dude should have sat down. Jesse had to sit his ass down, because in the modern day, I'm an older woman. Everybody, I don't know, maybe they're getting to know it, but I know it. What he did was dangerous. He could have caused towns to burn down like back in the day, and black young men, 17-year-olds, to get dragged in the street and killed. That is what Emmett Till was all about, over a lie. So I don't believe, and just because you black or look like you black, act like you black, wink like you black, don't mean that you are going to get away with things that ain't right. Because we're about getting things right, and we've been fighting for that for years. So get rid of Jesse and Sweet Britches. Sweet Britches got his ass off. And I hope Rahm Emanuel put the fire to that ass and give him a little bit more punishment, because he doesn't understand the damage that he did with that fucking lie to the black people and what we do and what we stand for and our, everything that we fight for. I mean, he's just a fucking shame, man. He's an abomination. So he can kiss my black ass. One black ass can kiss my black ass. So, okay. So, it's equal opportunity on kissing my ass. Yeah. That's number one. Now, this little, Cardi B. Cardi B. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. I have to get a little mercy on that and pray. But this is what I'm going to say about Cardi B. First of all, you fucked all the way up, okay? You didn't half-ass fuck up. You fucked 100% up. First of all, here's what I got to say. And I got to defend my men on this. I got to defend the mainstream conversation and everything that's going on with this little whole funky steak, and you think somebody say her fucking pussy smells like fish. All that shit is all out on the internet. Bitch, okay? So you're going to sit up here, all right, with your dumb ass. And I actually feel sorry for her. So I got to go hard on her, because you are an Oscar nominee, all these accolades, the top of the chain, the top of the food chain, right? And what you have just admitted, she's so fucking dumb. She talking about she's street smart. She ain't really street smart. Let me tell you what's up. She's going to sit up there on some emotional shit, and she's going to get and fucking admit that she drugged and robbed black men. She said out her mouth she doesn't want nothing but a black man. She already said that. Now she put on a live stream how she drugged and robbed them. Bitch, you just got yourself a fucking invitation for the knock on the door from the police and the FBI, you dumb bitch. Whether you're pimping and everything else, you really don't know the streets like I do. I know what she was really trying to say, but she really stupid. But let me tell you this. She should have never said that. She should have never did that. And now, since she came, this big award winner, top of the fucking food chain that you pumped up on top of, what's the other girl? They call her Barbie. I really ain't into that shit. But I know that she's...
You're talking about Nicki Minaj.
Nicki, there you go. So you done already pulled the rug up under Nicki's ass, and then you live streaming how you drugging and dragging niggas. Roofie, and fuck, and all this bullshit, prostitute. Now, here's what I got to say, and here's what I need to know. And I'm telling you, I'm serious about this, Honcho.
Okay.
This shit is fucked up. Okay, because Bill Cosby is behind bars, behind putting roofies on bitches, and he never even fucking admitted. There's some bitches that came back 20 years past in his past time, in his sick time.
Yeah.
20 years this time back. Okay, y'all know, y'all men. I'm an older woman, so I can talk like that. So he got some 20 dick years back, coming back and creeping on his ass. For some shit that he never admitted to. That motherfucker's behind bars. Now, and I never thought that I would be talking even in the iota, in a sense, of R. Kelly. Think of it, basically from a legal sense. You got R. Kelly having to face some 20 past 10-year dick time. That's how I'm going to classify it. Because he would have never been answering these charges if it wasn't for Surviving R. Kelly movie. If that movie never would have went up, nobody would have known what the fuck R. Kelly is doing. As far as I'm concerned, the motherfuckers is jealous because he got two bitches fucking who's agreeing to it, and these motherfuckers can't even get one motherfucking bitch. Okay? So all this stuff, you got to put it into perspective. So R. Kelly is about to go. We don't even know what's going. That shit is up in the fucking air. We don't know what's going to go down with R. Kelly. We looked at Sweet Britches. Sweet Britches got off of 16 fucking felonies. Who the fuck gets up under? This is like unheard of. This is like judicial fucking precedent. Yeah. Who the fuck gets off under 16 fucking felonies? I don't know no Negro who does that. That tells me. Oh, let me get back to that. That tells me it is definitely a hidden hang and a higher hang in that case. Trust me. Oh, yeah. That don't have shit to do with Jussie. Jussie got some higher hands. He was the fall guy, and he played his role for some bigger hands. And this shit is getting political all the way up, probably up to the halfway presidency. But it's definitely, because ain't no way in hell no Negro going to beat 16 fucking felonies and that's just ridiculous. It's not going to happen. So back to this Cardi Bitch B. So Cardi Bitch B is going to admit on a live stream where R. Kelly has never admitted to anything. That's why he got the fuck off the first time. Everybody remember that shit. He was exonerated. You can't double jeopardy him. He got off. The only reason why all this new R. Kelly conversation came in is because of this new documentary. The same thing as Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby never admitted to anything. These people came up against him, but he didn't say, oh, I fucking gave them a roofie and fucked them. No. But because they came in 20 dick years later, that's what I'm going to call it, 20 dick years later, okay? So we got 20 dick years later with Bill, and we got about 20 dick years later with Kelly, too. I mean, it's about an average. But, oh, this stupid bitch, Cardi, she doing her shit, it's the very exact equivalent. The same shit you did is the same shit that they are behind bars with, that Cosby is behind bars for, is that fucking Kelly is on the cakewalk for. The same shit that you actually fucking admitted in a live stream, you dumb bitch. I mean, come on. I mean, I want my brothers and sisters to really think about this. And I have to be equal, you fucking platonic, equal opportunity, and politically correct. So if we gonna be fucking politically correct, that bitch need to go to jail. Cause you take it down my motherfucking men. I'm soldier. I'm gonna let y'all know I ain't be. I'm extra liberal from the left. I ain't stupid, and I ain't whatever. I'm not stupid, and I understand exactly what's going on out here in this game. So you not taking my brothers down. You done took you done admit you taking my brothers down. You rolling them motherfuckers. And here's what she didn't know. all what she did, I know exactly what she was doing. That's some old school shit. But she took the old school, but she didn't understand how to apply it to the new school. So when we it's called rolling the nigga. All right? That's some old school shit that we know all about that. But you Oscar-worthy now. You done elevated yourself. Don't try to take, because you up there and bring it back down to the street. We know what the street is. You should have fucking left the streets behind you. You got your motherfucking Oscar and all that little fucking white boy shit. So you been happy with that. So don't try to take it back down to where we are, because I understand her truthfully. See, back in the day, all she was doing, that's why she was crying in that shit. That bitch was crying, because that's what it's all about. If you in the real street, and I understood her shit, it's called rolling the nigga. But you don't do that shit in no fucking mainstream 2019. You got all
Miss Shah, I hate to cut you off. Because you on
But
fire.
I got to tell us why, please, Honcho,
okay,
one more thing.
Come on. I got you. Because I love
Cardi B done opened her ass up. She opened her up, so now what's going to happen is the reverse shit. All the niggas, because she ain't even within what you call the 10-year period, you know, the legality period. So now what's going to happen is a bunch of Negroes, you got money, you done won your Oscar and all this bullshit and all these awards. So all these Negroes is going to come and say, look, Cardi B she done roofied me. Give me $1 million. So she done opened her ass up. And that's what they need to do. And all the attorneys, where's all the Negroes got roofied by Cardi the same way that Gloria Allred is saying, where's all the women who got disrupted or violated by R. Kelly? It's going to be the reverse. And so all these men don't normally come up like that. So this Me Too is about to be at P2. So niggas, show up, and look, Cardi, she roofied me, and she fucking robbed me. You go and you call Gloria Allred and get your motherfucking bag.
Okay. Well, Miss Sunshine,
okay,
you know.
Baby, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, I appreciate your call. Thank you. See, one, y'all hating because she was dropping them gems. Y'all just ain't want to. Y'all ain't want to accept it because y'all a bunch of Cardi fans. I can see it in the chat. It's a bunch of Cardi fans in the chat. Y'all don't want to keep it real. My fault on y'all ears. I apologize. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, man, it's prepaid, baby.
Man, what's the motherfucking deal, prepaid? Man, what you want to drop on us tonight?
Hey, man, Sunshine on y'all ass tonight. She tired of y'all shit. She fed the fuck up, and I'm with her. I'm with her. Look, man, I'm not as passionate about as the Sunshine is, but I'm mad than the motherfucker too, bro. And I don't know who NPC is, who's in the chat, but you've been wrong the whole day. Talking about y'all want Jesse to go to jail, and you don't know justice system. No, the only reason why he's not in jail because he has money, he's politically connected. Because I guarantee you, I don't know who you are, but if you get 16 felonies, they take your motherfucking ass to the big house. I guarantee it. There won't be any plea deals. So you need to shut up with all that bullshit. You also, whoever NPC is, you also said that R. Kelly had victims, Bill Cosby had victims, Cardi B don't have any victims. That's incorrect. Somebody's already came forward and said that Cardi B set them up and robbed them. A dude already came out and said that if you don't believe me, just do a quick little Google search, and some dude, while he came to New York, she robbed him for like $800, stole his Louis Vuitton wallet and his belt, and some other personal items. For any of y'all who keep saying Cardi B from the streets, that's a motherfucking lie. Because, Honcho, as you know, what's rule number one? You never tell on yourself. Snitching is terrible, but nigga, you told on yourself?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Nigga, what hood do they teach that in?
Yeah,
nigga, no. In any form of fashion. Now, let me get to my point. My number one problem is the fact that every time a man does something, it's a culture. It's rape culture. It's domestic violence culture, violent culture, all this bullshit. But when a woman does it, y'all laugh the shit off. Cardi B should be locked up like any other monster that y'all call people monsters. You are raping people. You are robbing people. Those are felonies. If a man did what she did, if a man came out of it, he'd have been locked up already. It came and scooped his dumb ass up.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have had 25 women lined up with veils over their eyes. Honcho, he took me in the back of a Burger King and he just had his way. Like that's what the fuck we be talking about. That's why people like me and Honcho get mad about it, because if it was the shoes on the foot, y'all would be lined up for that shit. Here is the fact of the matter. People are gonna come out the woodworks. I think probably about 5 to 10 dudes gonna come out. Maybe 2 or 3 telling the truth, and the rest of them are lying. And I'm completely fine with that, because until it's across the board, none of this shit gonna change. So maybe if her career gets ruined like R. Kelly's career got ruined, maybe we'll be good to go. Because as y'all know, everybody who said R. Kelly raped them and sexually assaulted them ain't all telling the truth. So maybe we need equality across the board. Maybe we need to go out here and start prosecuting these females, because every time a man does something, it's rape culture. If a man hit a woman, he's an abuser. It's domestic violence culture. But women beat niggas' ass every day, and y'all sit back and laugh at this shit.
This is true.
Shit's wild, because I've seen a dude was on social media, and this is hilarious. A chick on social media said, "We don't need to be counseling Cardi. We need to wait for the evidence to come out." So a nigga tweeted back and was like, kind of like the way we want the evidence for the R. Kelly case. She said, "Well, that's different." He said, "Okay, cool." Then she came out and said, "Well, you shouldn't be buying pussy." He said, "Well, damn, that sounds a lot like these women was going to R. Kelly house knowing what they was getting themselves into." She tweeted back and said, "Well, that's different." He said, "Well, I guess everything is fucking different." It's the same fucking shit. It's the same fucking shit. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Hey, surviving Cardi B, mute Cardi B, whatever little movement y'all with, I'm with all that shit. I'm with all. Sign me up. Me and Honcho, we in that thing. Fuck it. I'm out.
I already appreciate the prepaid. I already. Man, and here's my thing too. You know, like you just said about the tweet saying somebody shouldn't be buying pussy. Women shouldn't be selling it. Then, if that's the case, don't sell the shit, man. Come on, like almost every woman you know, and let's be honest, ladies, put a value on it, even if they're not legitimately prostituting. I mean, come on, there's songs out there. Who got a song talking about she got $1 million pussy and, you know, all this other stuff. Like, it's a whole bunch of bullshit that goes on with it. I'm not saying every woman is a hooker, but it's a lot of women out there putting a price on their pussy, a purse or a bag. If he can't buy me this, he can't do that for me. If he can't do this for me, then, you know, it's not good enough. I ain't fucking if he ain't doing this. And there's a lot of strippers out there doing a lot of these stunts. Cardi ain't the only one. She ain't the first. It's a lot more. But like he was talking about, that culture. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the Denline this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
What's the motherfucking deal, Josh?
Hey, man, but it's just like I've been saying, I think, like yesterday about this Cardi shit when I first brought it up. And anybody else didn't know what I was talking about, man. It's just, it's this double standard shit ran amok once again. And I'm glad that the Jussie shit like happened, because we all know it's pretty much political power people in high places that do what they want. And I just want to turn this call to a situation where I talked to my old boy yesterday that's trying to go into the, you know, judicial system field, and I try to tell his ass like, hey, what do you think about it? He was just like, man, you know, the lady dropped it because maybe it was shady evidence. I'm like, shady evidence? Like, how does 16 counts get washed away by the blood of Jesus and just goes away all of a sudden in 3 days? Like, how does that happen? And he was just like, well, I guess some shit was happening. I was like, or a motherfucker got paid off. I mean, that shit makes sense. He was like, yeah, man, I guess so. And I told his ass, I'm like, man, look, you get older, you do this clown shit, your ass ain't gonna have a career doing this dumb shit again, getting paid off and shit. And then he was talking about, man, like, how make a living? I'm like, yeah, just doing shit the right way. He's like, yeah, but I mean, I really don't know what he gonna do. But it's just, it's sad, man, because really what's going to happen is it's like motherfuckers gonna be going into this field. They're gonna try to do this shit, like try to get to a high place, and if someone play them off, they just gonna go on and get a whole bunch of money and go off to the sunset while, you know, predators go free. And it's been happening for years. It's not, like, I mean, this just didn't happen with Cardi B and Jussie. I mean, it's just mainstream because they're mainstream. So this goes on, because I'm worried about the fact that this goes on more times than not, other than them, and that's my concern.
Okay. And who do you think are the primary beneficiaries of people who on the winning end of situations like this?
Wait, so you just said like who's primarily on the winning end of it?
Yeah, what kind of? I mean, who do you think really wins from situations like this?
I mean, I don't even, because I mean, I guess the two people might be the person that's getting paid off and the person that got off, if that makes any sense. But even if you do get paid off, if stuff comes out that you did well, I mean, due to your system, I mean, is that Fox person gonna get in trouble? I don't know. If she gonna lose a career, I mean, it is. But if she gonna matter, I mean, well, damn, the motherfuckers paid you $1 million but told you you're not gonna have your career no more. Motherfuckers will take the $1 million and in a heartbeat and leave their career. So, I mean, I really don't know, man.
Okay. Just wanted your opinion on it. I mean, I don't think there's really a right answer necessarily. I was just wondering what you thought about it.
Yeah. But how about you? Like, so what do you think?
I'll be honest with you. You mean the motherfucker who's basically avoiding jail time is the one that's winning? Shit. Shit, if your ass ain't going to fucking jail for it, then fuck it, you won. If you done some dirt or you avoiding having to suffer the outcome that the normal or most people in society would have to suffer, then shit, you winning in that situation. Outside of that shit, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I really don't. I mean, that's the only way I see it. If you ain't having to suffer the punishment, then you winning. I don't think the person getting paid off may necessarily be winning because, I mean, it can come back and bite them. You know, they can still have other situations that could occur from that. But, I mean, whoever ain't getting punished is who wins, in my opinion.
True. Try to see that. But, goodbye, man. I'll let everybody be. And you didn't think, well enough, man. It's tiring stuff.
Okay. Well, that's a BET, man. That's a BET. When you ref your next game, Josh?
Wait, what you said?
I said, when are you reffing your next game?
Next game? So with that flag football stuff, like I really just came back from work, honestly, just an hour ago from it. But they didn't really have me out there, so because the team didn't show up, so they forfeited sadly. But I didn't really. So really, like my first day will be like tomorrow, I guess.
Okay. Don't be out there looking like them replacement refs in the NFL and shit.
I'm probably gonna be looking like that anyway because with the new rule that came out and shit, talk about you can challenge passing.
Nah, man, fuck all that. Man, I'm telling you, everything is is going soft. That's why we got to have these conversations in the den, man, because everything is just going off the rails. I don't even want to talk about football right now with the Texans. I don't want to talk about none of that shit. Fuck all that shit. But that's a bet, man. I appreciate your call there, Josh.
Nah, but you did to yourself, man. You brought it up, but all right, man.
Already. I thought you was going to ref some soccer or some shit. I ain't know about no goddamn football. Yeah, man. So here's the deal. Man. I don't know what y'all in here talking about. Y'all done going off the rails. Say after rappers in the game fake as fuck. Yeah, I mean, we know that. But my thing is, if some stuff like this has been said, it needs to be looked into. I think it does. You can't just be putting yourself out there like that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
What's going on, Honcho? This is Dr. Rabbit.
Senior Rabbit, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What would you like to drop in the den tonight?
Man, what bothers me the most part is, the people who are fans of her. Like when they see this, they're gonna, I don't know, like how they'll react.
Well, they reacted already.
But here's where it hits me. Here's where it hits me deep down inside. Mm-hmm. My baby cousin is a fan. I am not joking. She's a legitimate fan of Cardi B.
That's terrible.
And I can't do anything about it because they're in California.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's not your problem, though. I mean, you can't. Hey, that's for their parents to deal with, and you can just you avoid those kind of things.
I know, but it's still my relative.
Nah, man,
I don't
man, I got relatives I don't even fuck with, man. I got relatives because I was cool with at one point in time, and them motherfuckers couldn't reach me if it was a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the motherfuckers. But the thing is, hey, and I'm not saying that you have a bad relationship with your relatives, but you can't save them. They got to make their own decisions, and like I say, you didn't give birth to them, so their parents have to figure out how to deal with that situation, or that's just a situation you can't be concerned with.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But either way, though, that whole shenaniganery, that's just weird.
Yeah, it's a bad situation, man. But again, like I said, people gonna ride for who they ride with. So like I said, somebody, whoever we start off this show, somebody who ain't never been here for talking about but she didn't rape anybody, but she admitted to committing other fucking crimes. So we just gonna it wasn't rape. Just like, come on,
man.
Like, so, I mean, people gonna see what they want to see. They're gonna justify it the way they want to, and that's the bad part about it.
Yeah, man, she was more wide open than my front door.
You gotta close it. You're gonna let the flies in.
Yeah, I bet Cardi B got flies flying all over her ass. Nasty bitch.
That's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah, but that's all I got, man.
All right, Dr. Redman, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, man. Fuck you, NPC.
Well, that was unexpected. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? I apologize for your ears. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? This is I just called in to talk about Jussie Smollett and Cardi B. What I have to say about Jussie Smollett is I don't know why people are having a hard time believing this, because the fact that the prosecutor is the one that took it to the judge and said they wanted to drop the case, that tells me one thing, that the evidence that they had against him was more than likely fabricated.
Okay, one second. Who do we have calling in again?
This is Yolanda.
Okay, Yolanda, appreciate it. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So it tells me one thing, that the evidence that they had was fabricated. That's the only reason why a prosecutor would take the case to a judge to drop. His lawyer didn't do it. The prosecutor did it.
Okay. Well,
so
here's what I'm going to say about that. Now, I don't mean to cut you off, because I followed up on some things today, and it wasn't the actual prosecutors in the case. The prosecutors came out and said that they, believed in the evidence. It was someone, a higher up. They received a call that basically said, hey, we're not going to go forward with this. And, they can say that a lot of people were in shock the same way that they had that whole little emergency. It was a lot of backdoor stuff going on. Because my thing, and my question is this, again, if there was no evidence, if it wasn't that he was innocent, then why did he still have to give up restitution? Why did he still have to do some low-key community service? And how do you get your sentence before, you go to court? So basically he did everything before he ever got to court. And that's what I question. He had already done his community service, all these things. So that means there were some backdoor channels going on and some conversations being had, but they just, they worked it in his favor. But carry on. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of different things out there. I saw his actual lawyer on television. And what she said the prosecutor brought it to the judge. She told Don Lemon this. Then she also said that the case is like it's expunged, like it never was a case, like it's going to be gone away, like it never appeared. The evidence, his lawyer said on television, she said the prosecutor that was prosecuting the case, plus the police chief, they were all out here contradicting each other, saying different things. The two Nigerian guys. Well, evidently, the two Nigerian guys are saying now that the check that the prosecutor and the police chief said was for the payment for them to do this crime. Well, it turns out these guys say the check was for nutrition and to train him, which is what Jussie Smollett had said from the very beginning. And TMZ kind of broke that before this stuff even came out about maybe a few weeks ago or whatever. So it's clear to me that Chicago has a history a history of fabricating evidence on people. All these black people that's being killed out here, and you mean to tell me Roman Manuel and the police chief is on TV in their feelings about Jesse Smollett when this crime actually, it shouldn't have even been any 16 counts. They overcharged him for that. The crime that they say he committed, he should have got probation for that anyway. So all of that it's just bogus. And people, you know what? I think these white people out here are conditioning black people to go against their own people. And we really need to have a conversation with that within ourselves. As for Cardi B, I am just sick of this girl here. I am even sick of my own people. And the reason I'm sick of my own people, because my own people are out here checking for this chick that, for one thing, is not black. She don't claim to be black. She's out here calling black women roaches and stuff. And you can go on internet, Google this. You don't have to just take my word for it. She has a problem with black women, but she loves black men. But you disparage black women. Even the lady in Houston, the makeup artist that tried to do her makeup here, the way she did her, that was wrong. You can Google that too. You don't have to take my word for it. She has a history of doing things that are questionable. Plus, I mean, all these different things that she said on social media, and then everybody act like they have a problem believing that she did this, and it's not compared. They don't want to compare it to, people saying we're over-exaggerating for comparing it to Bill Cosby, which is not true. Because first of all, you have to listen to the several videos that she had. She did say she was having sex with the men. She did say she was drugging them, and then she was taking their money. That is exactly what Bill Cosby was convicted of doing. This is exactly the same thing. Now, you know what? It's these blogs out here that are trying to indoctrinate a different view in black people, and it's some people that's falling for it. How you know this is all something that's set up is that if you look at, none of the main blogs are picking up this story. None of them. And black people, this is what I'm going to say to you, to my people, that I love my people. But we got to get it together, because we let these white people out here convince us to turn on our own people and go on TV doing Surviving R. Kelly, Surviving Michael Jackson. Last time I checked, when Michael was alive, he was brought up for charges. He was acquitted. He was acquitted of the charges. These same little boys is the ones that, well, they're not little anymore, was saying he did these things. And I mean, I don't understand how people are believing this, and now they taking this man's stuff out of museum, telling you to mute them. I saw Taraji P. Henson on her Instagram, and she made a comment. They started bullying her. Then she made a video of herself showing us that she was muting R. Kelly. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy to me. I don't care what anybody says about Michael Jackson. I don't care what they say about R. Kelly. I don't know for sure whether these people did it or not, and I don't know that they didn't do it. But I do know one thing. I know that I liked his music, Michael and R. Kelly, and just because society or some white folks tell me that it's unacceptable for me to listen to them, I'm not going to stop listening to their music. I'm not going to mute them. I listen to Cardi B, but I never liked her, because the reason I don't like her, I don't like the way she carries herself. And I saw a woman can see when another woman don't like black women. This woman clearly, she has a problem with black women, but she loves black men. So I saw that in her. I saw even when she was on Love and Hip Hop, she picked up her shoe and she threw it at the black girl on Love and Hip Hop. Then she goes to this function and she throws her shoe at Nicki Minaj. And you know what? All these white folks, these Spanish folks out here, they made excuses for her. It was even black people was out there making excuses for, oh, that's her lifestyle, that's who she is, or whatever. So it's okay for some people to do it, but it's not okay for other people to do it. Black people, we need to check ourselves, because we are allowing these people to lead us down a path that's not good for our people. Look at this Donald Trump. It's clear he's trying to divide us, and we're helping them. You know what? White people, they stick with their own. Black people, we should stick with our own. I'm not saying that we should cut everybody else out, but we need to support each other. Stop trying to tear each other down, because the only people it's hurting is us. But we also have to stop letting society, these white people out here, Jewish people out here, Latin people out here, I don't care, Muslim people out here, I don't care who you are. We have to stop letting people define us. We have to stop letting them get us to tear down our black brothers and sisters. We have to stop that. If this was unacceptable for R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, then it's unacceptable for Cardi B. Another thing I'm going to tell you about, I watch CNN, and on CNN I watch, what is this name? Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon. Now, I listened at them for maybe 2 weeks talk about R. Kelly. They talked about R. Kelly. They talked about Michael Jackson. But you know who they weren't talking about on the show? It's at least 3 Jewish guys that are in these same type of scandal. One of them is Jeffrey Epstein, that not only was he raping young girls, but he was trafficking young girls from country to country. Do you hear me? So they can sleep with men. Young girls, I'm talking about 13, 12, 14, 15 years old. And then this is the same guy that got the sweetheart deal and didn't have to do any prison time. I have yet to see Anderson Cooper cover that story. Then you got Harvey Weinstein. The judge in his case, this man, he just died. He dead now. And they done dropped a lot of the charges off. So he's not going to face the music. But who do you see on TV that's facing the music? It's all these black entertainers. It's all. I'm even mad at Oprah for even doing this Surviving Neverland. I mean, it's really disgusting to me. Michael Jackson is dead and he can't even defend himself. And you got all these people doing this, Surviving Michael Jackson, Surviving Neverland. I'm like, people, we need to look, open your eyes and see what they are trying to do to us. They are trying to close our schools down. They don't want public school. That's why they want these charter schools, because they want to keep us uneducated. You know why they want to keep us uneducated? Because they know they can't put us back in slavery like we were. They want to do the new slavery. The new slavery is to keep you dumb. Then they can pay you what they want, and they can tell you what you can't have and what you can have. I mean, really, people, think about this. I was telling this young girl this about voting in the salon and about the schools. This girl told me, well, that's fine with me because I'll homeschool my kids. And then when I asked her, and when your kid try to go get into a college or something, is your homeschool, is that going to be accredited school?
Here's the deal,
Miss Yolanda.
Miss Yolanda, and I, you made a lot of points here, and I want to address a lot of them. But what I want you to do, because this is your first time calling in, right?
Yes.
Okay. You made a lot of points. Now, I'm not going to say I agree with all of them. I think that we have some dissenting views, but I respect your opinions, and I'm going to address some of these things. But I do want you to call back in the very near future, because I think that we can have some very interesting discussions. And I want to say thank you for calling in tonight.
And thank you for letting me call in.
Okay, I appreciate it. Call in soon.
You have a good evening. Bye-bye.
A lot of things, because there's a lot of stuff that was going on, and there's a lot that I want to speak on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Oh, this prepaid. Yolanda. Yuck. Yolanda, baby girl, I don't know what year you living in, but here in the year of our Lord, 2019, the man and the white man ain't holding us back and ain't separating us anymore. However, your slave mentality is, baby girl, we are not tearing each other down. We in 2019 thinking for ourselves, which you should be doing also. We ain't riding for nobody like Jussie because he's black. That is the dumbest shit you can possibly do. Also, his charges were not dismissed. They did not clear him of any charges. You have got to get your facts together. Also, just to help you out, if you run all these cases concurrent, for anybody who have been in the legal system, if you got 16 felonies and you run them concurrent to each other, and they looking at about a year and a half, you're going to do a year and a half. You don't get an emergency meeting with the judge get your charges dropped, expunged, case sealed. That doesn't happen. That happens because a phone call happened from a higher power. That's how this thing works. When Joseph Maggis, the guy who took over for Kim Fox that should recuse herself, came out and said that we did not drop charges versus Justice Smollett. We have no problem with the actual evidence. We have no problem with the police work. That's telling you a decision was made on a call that's above my pay grade. That's how these things work. Now, you can reject them as much as you like. That's your opinion. But you sound like a fool, which is why everybody's telling you to get your ass off the phone. You got to stop that shit. Think for yourself. Use your own brain. We ain't riding for everybody that's black. That's some dumb shit. And you said white people ride for each other, like they did in World War II, I guess. You need to stop this dumb shit, because people like you is what's tearing us apart. I don't give a damn how black you are or how much black pride you have. If you in the wrong, you in the wrong. If you in the right, you in the right. That's the problem with our people now. We too busy riding for each other because we black. If a nigga commit a crime and it's heinous and he deserves the death penalty, then he's getting the death penalty. If a white person does the same crime, he getting the same exact shit. The problem with you is your mentality is these crackers are trying to keep us down. They got a foot on our neck. No, you keeping yourself down. Every time something happens that you don't like, it's always them crackers' fault. And that's why you ain't gonna never have shit. It's 2019. Ain't nobody stopping you but you. And your mentality is why people like Justice Smollett commit hate hoaxes and say that white people don't want us to have nothing or we're marginalized. What the fuck does that even mean? Listen, man, you gotta stop playing the victim, because people like you cause other people to play the victim. Ain't nobody stopping you in 2019 but you. Fuck all that. Take your ass to bed.
Appreciate the call there, prepaid. Well now. It's a very interesting night. Look, Carter done got it fired up in this motherfucker. Let's see what we got calling in, man. Look, I might have to wait till a bit to address a bunch of stuff. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Okay, so I'm going to just say my name is Dave. I ain't going to give my real name, but I wanted to...
What? You ain't going to give your real name? What you mean? We got to be able to investigate who called in so that we know you speaking. I'm fucking with you. You say Jay?
Jade.
Jade, okay. Like the color jade?
Okay, so the whole Cardi B situation, my thing is, I don't know, because I'm just now tuning in, but I don't know if anyone has mentioned that when she was being a colorist and when she was making, racial remarks towards black women or darker skinned women, calling them roaches, calling one woman, she called her dead son a monkey and some more stuff. Nobody really was calling her out and they was defending her. But as soon as this whole surviving Cardi B thing comes up, now everybody wants to talk about how she's canceled. So my question is, why are we wanting to cancel her when it comes to her wanting to, or supposedly drugging and robbing men, but nobody wanted to cancel her when she was being racist as fuck?
I mean, that's a very good point. I canceled the bitch before she ever got started because I ain't never listened to her shit. So, I mean, but it's just all this new stuff started popping up. Some people mentioned it. And so, I brought the conversation up. I heard about the roaches thing. I didn't know about the dead monkey thing. So I'm sure if I'd heard about it back then, I'd have spoke on it. But yeah, that's the dead monkey thing new to me.
Yeah, but that's all I wanted to put out there. It's why are we wanting to cancel her after this came up? Why we didn't cancel her when she had initially got off of Love and Hip Hop. I also didn't care for how she threw her shoes. That's all she's known for. She's known for throwing shoes. She's never known for throwing no hands. She stayed throwing some shoes. But let me get off here and let the next caller get on.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in.
All right.
Already. And look, if she's throwing shoes like that, we need to keep her away from President Bush, right? So my thing is this, man. My thing is this. Yeah, but the thing is, who are her biggest fans? And that's what I want to know. Who is supporting Cardi B more than anybody else? And then that's what we got to look at. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Yeah, this Lee, man.
Lee, what's the motherfucking deal? What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
Yeah, I just think that's kind of weird that everybody not really being choosy about who they picking to side with and getting shit twisted. Because on the real, that dude had his fucking charges dropped because he got set up the same way as somebody that I had beef with when I got my face scarred up and was started knocking people out at gas stations. Now I want you to think about this. How the hell did my ass punch a dude in the face at a gas station, had a fucking captain of the fucking police pull up, and me and the dude that I socked didn't get arrested for fighting?
Well, first I need to ask, what kind of gas station was it? Was it Exxon? Was it a Shell? Chevron? What kind of gas station was it?
Shit, it was like, not a mobile. It was like a quick trip or some shit. Out with that.
So y'all got no punishment, no repercussions for the scuffle?
Yeah, they ain't gonna arrest my ass.
So why do you think that happened?
I know why it happened, because when they asked me why I socked that motherfucker in the face, I said it was because the motherfucker tried to drug my fucking fiance, and I wanted to rip his motherfucking head clean off his body.
Damn. Hey, how did you try to drug your fiance?
The motherfuckers invited her to a party with some bitch named Candace Marie Carlson.
Let me make sure I don't fuck with no Candace Carlson. She sounds shady. So they invited her to a party, and basically it was a setup. They tried to pull a okey doke. So did she actually get drugged, or did what happened with the situation?
She got drugged. The police came and fucking raided the party and all types of shit. And the shit was downstairs from our apartment. After the fucking police came and raided and shit, I come looking for her like, where the fuck she was at? Because I ain't stayed down there because them motherfuckers was smoking green and shit. And I was trying to get custody of the kids. So why the fuck would I be sitting up there around motherfuckers smoking green? But I'm thinking if somebody's smoking green, that's not going to be that bad of a problem. There's worse as shit that motherfucking bitches do. But who would be thinking that a female like Cardi B would be trying to help drug some other female to get her raped?
It happened more often than you think.
No, I know how much that shit fucking happened. Because the thing is, real talk, that punk ass motherfucking Jesse, his ass, he not somebody anybody should be fucking siding with. That motherfucker mixed any goddamn way.
Yeah, Jesse is. He got smorgasbord of shit.
Hey, can you repeat that? Sorry, you're talking at the same time.
No, I said Jesse. Yeah, Jesse got a whole smorgasbord of shit going on.
Yeah, you do. You want to know something messed up? I bumped into one of his fucking co-workers, the broad that played the baby mama for Exhibit. And that shit was predating that shit happening. Now, you know, some of your other callers mock some of the shit that I be saying, but I've been at ground zero for a bunch of this shit. All of this shit going on, y'all gonna have to fucking accept it. Some of your fucking favorite TV motherfuckers, some of your favorite stars got fucked up. They was getting raped and all types of crazy shit by these goofy dudes and goofy ass females and shit like Cardi B and them. I turned down a deal that some of them MFers took. I'm trying not to curse too bad, but they getting it twisted. And there are people putting their foot on people's necks. Unlike what Prepaid saying, there's people that'll fuck you up and be your entourage and be just there in your mansion to kill your fucking ass if you fucking accept the money. And some of you motherfuckers can't box, let alone fucking start popping and have a shootout. So what the fuck would you do if the fucking hitman came to you? You wouldn't do shit. You motherfuckers sitting up there speculating and shit on the sidelines, not being on the fucking front line, don't know shit. And my fucking city is a fucking war zone, and I'm still alive.
No, that's right. You are from the Chi. So what do you feel about that? I mean, with the jet situation, you being from Chicago, I don't know if you've ever had any too many legal interactions.
Fuck out my fucking city. I want them in our goddamn city. Fuck them motherfuckers. I want them in my fucking city making my city look shitty.
And I know taking pride when people be getting all excited because I know you be having that one cat call in and stuff that sound like fucking tough and shit. But you know what I mean? Like for real, I'm passionate about this because it is my city that's looking crazy. All of these crazy motherfuckers keep coming there and shit because everybody want to break bread. That start that what is the name? Takashi 69. His ass came out there had something to do with the fucking mayor, 10 folks, because they want to be in entertainment. You notice the mayor was standing next to the police, and you notice they leaked them out.
Man, Lee, I'm not sure what's going on, man, but it's kind of doing that thing he was doing last time when they started getting kind of robotic. I think that you got the people listening to you, man, because it's sounding.
No, if anybody listening to me, it's your girl Sarah. Ain't she police?
But you got some robotic shit going on, man. It's kind of hard to hear you, man. It's like,
you know, nobody want to hear what I got to say because I'm spitting the real.
Yeah, but it's like you got some it's like some digital interference or something going on you. I don't know what it is. It sounds like y'all remember that? You remember that movie? What was it? Johnny Five, when they whooped him real bad with the robot and they started fucking him up and he was kind of discombobulated.
Man, shoot, man. The whole hood gonna be discombobulated in a minute, man. All of these people freaking out because they scared that they gonna go to Gitmo for human trafficking. That's all it is. That December 21st, 2017 executive order. It was for public corruption and human trafficking. We in a national emergency with that shit. People need to get it through their fucking thick heads once and for all. You're going to have to say bye-bye to somebody, and brothers going to have to be more moralistic. Stop letting your kids listen to these knuckleheads and shit. Some of them ain't shit. They punks. They couldn't fucking hold it. They couldn't hold it down. They wouldn't be able to hold it down on the yard. If they was locked up, they wouldn't be doing shit. They'd be bending over on purpose. Like somebody throwing fucking, like you throwing shit at a dartboard, you old goofy. And I want them out of my hood. I don't give a fuck. They need to go.
Oh, my God. Oh.
No, I'm feuding with them and shit. Like, you talking to the right, wrong one. I'm feuding with them like the Hatfields and McCoys. They can suck my motherfucking dick. Fuck what the fuck that little goofy cartoon head MFer running out there telling everybody he gonna put hits on people and shit for the same amount that them knuckleheads was coming to me. Talking that fucking 4G shit. Like, that's the same shit that paid the damn brothers. And that broad mentioned that. They Yolanda broad mentioned how much they was trying to pay them. Remember that?
So I got a question for you.
Who the hell gonna pay for a contract hit and write on the endorsement contract hit? Don't nobody do that.
I got a question for you, though. Man. I got a question for you, though.
A person gonna pay for it. Sometimes they'll pay them during tax time. They'll pay bum-ass fucking hitmen with a car.
Yeah, that's terrible. I got a question for you, though, man. I got a question for you, though, Lee. Do you think Cardi B was really out there doing it? Do you think she was really out there setting niggas up with drugs and trannies and robbing niggas and doing that shit?
Hell yeah. They be using little chicks to fucking set people up. Told you they blackmailing people. Hell yeah. I'm telling you, some of them people took a fucking record deal contract that I turned down. I rap better than a bunch of these MFs and shit. I got lyrics and shit.
Man, where the mixtape at then, man? Where's that? Well, let me know where I can hear it.
Man, when my fucking eye got busted and I started beefing with all of them goofy-ass Aryan Brotherhood motherfuckers that offered me the record deal and shit, I was like, fuck a record and shit. I was like swinging on motherfuckers and shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit no more. At this point in time, I want everybody out my city. I want Jesse and them out my motherfucking city. That's about what fuck the record and shit. Start kicking some raps or some shit when all them motherfuckers the fuck out my fucking city. Until then and shit, they need to just give a green light so everybody can start busting each other's heads and shit like fucking Captain Caveman or motherfucking Conan.
Already, man. Lee, that's a BET, man. I feel you, but I'm gonna get out to the next call. But I appreciate you calling in, man. If we got some time later on, you know I always appreciate you calling back in, man. But
hey, it's sorry if I freaked everybody out on the damn chat line. Sorry, can't deal with all y'all hating ass niggas.
It's all good, man. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Man, she better run one more time.
Wrong with you. What you want to bet? Y'all bucking the system. Everybody bucking the system tonight. That's definitely right. I halfway glimpse in the chat. Y'all wilding out, the calls wilding out. Everybody going crazy. Look what Cardi B and Jesse. See, I'll tell y'all, fucking with them light skinned folks. That's what happens when you fuck with too many light skinned people. You let them get in the mix. I'm just fucking with y'all, man. What you got going on?
Man, let me tell you something, bro. It seems like since I called, bro, people wilding right now, bro. It's going all over the place. You got my boy Prepaid going off. You got I forgot her name. She was going off. You got liberals, conservatives. That's why I said, please don't bring no politics into this, because now we're getting to politics, bro. I get it, bro, but why are we talking about politics? We need to be talking about Cardi B and this issue right now. People love to bring up politics, man, but I understand it, man. Everybody just needs to calm down. We need to breathe, because people getting, woo-wee. He had the dude before me going off. He was about to shoot some niggas up. Niggas mad. But what was I about to say, man? Yeah, man. Last thing on this Cardi B situation, man. I think it's this, man. I think Alonda, what she said, she had a couple good points. Some things I don't agree with. Same goes for Prepaid. Some things I agree, some things I don't. I think it's just a mix of both, especially with me, man. But I think it was this Cardi situation, man. I think the best thing for people to do is pay her no mind. I feel like for a woman like Cardi B, she grabs off attention. She craves for it, her and Nicki. And the least we show attention to a story like this is the least when they start to fade away. We all say we want somebody to fade away. We want to cancel somebody. We want to get rid of somebody. Well, stop listening to them. Stop talking about them. Stop listening to their music. Stop listening to interviews about them. The least you talk about somebody is how you cancel somebody. The thing is, look at how they thinking they canceling R. Kelly and Michael and all that, but you talk about them every time. That's just getting them money. You know what that's creating, Honcho? Curiosity in people. Let me go listen to their music, see how good it is. Or let me go say a mean comment under their music. But you're getting them money. You're getting them publicity. You're making them be talked about for them to be known, you know, for people to look up, and you're keeping the story alive when you keep talking about it. I'm just saying, if we're tired of Jesse, if we're tired of Cardi, if we're tired of these people, let's cut them off. People have always had issues with the Kardashians. Time to cut the Kardashians off and stop talking about the Kardashians. They had nothing to talk about. You know, I'm just saying. That's how I feel. If you want to get rid of a person, it's to don't even pay them no mind and act like they don't exist. So that's how I feel, Honcho.
Okay. Man, you know, I try that. I be trying to ignore people, but they seem to get more famous the more I ignore them. I've been trying to ignore Cardi B.
I agree. It's hard. I try, but it's so hard because you be scrolling through your Instagram and shit, and that's all you see. It's like, come on, bro. It's like, I'm trying to ignore you, but all I'm seeing is you, you know? So it's like, it's annoying, but I feel like you got to have that strong mindset to not let yourself get engaged into this situation, bro. And my last point before I get off, because I got laid down at this. My last point when it comes to Cardi B, bro, why I feel like the blogs are not posting about this. You know, I'm about to go Illuminati Roman. Yeah, I'm about to go on my Illuminati. And I just feel like when it comes to her, Cardi B is meant to replace Nicki. They're the same person. Think about it. They shake their ass, they stick out their tongue, they fight, they talk, they blah blah blah, have the head. They do the same exact thing. All she is, they have used all their services and things they want to do. Nicki's getting kicked out. They done with Nicki. Nicki has done all that soul selling and all that junky shit and Anaconda and all that to win not 0 Grammys. She got a bunch of BET awards. 0 Grammys. Cardi's been in the business for 2 years and has got already a Grammy. She's already technically a Grammy Award-winning artist. I'm just saying, this is how I feel, man. She is meant, and the reason why the blogs are not talking about it, because they have placed her in this situation. They have placed her. She has a certain job to do. Her job is to show her demographic and her vision and her sick ways to these young women, especially black, but all young girls. And it's sad. And the best thing to do, like I say, to stop her is to cut her off. So I'm hoping this story can end her downfall, because I'm tired of hearing about her. So That's it for me, man. I'm about to lay it down. It's your boy Roman, man. I'll see you tomorrow in the den and the talk, Honcho.
Already, man. Appreciate the call there, Roman.
Man, anytime.
Already. All right. I'm all over the place. Because I'm catching bits and pieces of the chat, and I'm missing everything. And I still got plenty that I need to address. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Who we got calling in?
Hey, this is Brandon, MPC.
All right. What you want to drop in the den this evening, Brandon?
Hey, I want to respond to, I forget his name, but he called earlier saying that I didn't know what I was talking about in regards to the justice system. And I called yesterday and I was explaining how, once the charges get to the prosecutors, it's up to them to figure out whether they're going to charge a case, trial a case, or nolly it or drop it, right? And it all depends on the severity of the case, right? The prosecutor's office for this, for Jesse's case, they cited that they looked at 5,700 other cases, right, that were similar to this, which ended up in case alternative prosecution, which means they were nollied. So, right, think about that. 5,700 other cases were nollied in a similar way. Why? Because imagine having 5,700 people in jail for a minor non-violent charge, like the disorderly conduct. It's 16 charges, right? And it is a felony, but it's a level 4 felony, which means it's the lowest felony in the state. Again, it's non-violent. There's no victim, and the charges run concurrent to each other, right? So even if he were to get prosecuted for the 16 charges, he would serve all 16 charges at the same time. So at the very minimum, he would have to do a year, right? Which is 1 day over the 365 days out of the year, right? That's how it works. But they also cite, right, that like cases like this that are similar, right, they can't stray too far in how they charge people just based on how notorious the case is, right? And by notorious, they mean, how famous the case might get, right? Just because Jesse is, a more famous person doesn't mean that they're going to grossly, disparate any punishment towards him. They can't do that. That's not how the law works. So again, I don't know what the confusion is, or where people think that I'm wrong in stating this, when this is how the justice system works. It's just there's too little resources, and there's just too little resources, too little time to trial everyone and just lock everyone up. Maybe you can help me understand where it is that I'm wrong.
Like I say, I just think that where I find it odd, and again, I mean, it's the charge itself, so I mean, that it makes sense, but it just seems that compared to other cases where people are just making a false claim, and then you have a situation where a guy fabricated an entire incident, then went out and made a false claim about it. And it seems like that would be a little bit different compared to somebody just calling and making a false report or just lying about some shit. But if you just orchestrating the whole event, it seems a bit different. But the charges are what the charges are, and that's just lying to police. So there's no real, extra anything that goes with
well,
that.
That's how it is. You're absolutely right, right? It just seems like people are definitely hurt. They're hurt because, for someone to orchestrate this kind of thing, it's evil. It's wrong. You shouldn't do it. And, absolutely, it's disgusting. But if you look at the letter of the law, just because this person is famous doesn't mean you're going to bang them even harder for what they did.
He might like
that's
that.
That's not how it works. Like the lawyer for Jesse, right? In their discussions, they discuss, hey, He has no violent criminal history, right? You know, he if you look at the other cases surrounding what the charges were, right? People who have made similar who've had similar charges filed against them, right? They've had their cases nollied, which pretty much means, again, for people who don't understand, it doesn't mean that they drop the charges. It just means that the courts have the option to just not pursue the case, because instead of taking Jussie to trial for some stupid, you know, bullshit that's just going to waste everybody's time, you know, that resource, those prosecutors, you know, that time can be used to prosecute someone who actually hurt someone in a more violent or more physical way. You know what I mean? What's more important, us trialing Jussie or us getting a slot of time to trial someone who raped someone or someone who robbed someone?
And I understand all of these things. I understand where you're coming from, but I think with this case, and again, I'm not saying that it wasn't going to happen, because like I said from the very beginning, I didn't think he was going to do any time. I figured he'd get some type of community service, which he did. I thought, you know, some probation, but that didn't happen. You know, he forfeited the bail. But my thing with this is, I think it's the way that it was handled, because again, it wasn't a scheduled court appearance. They just, with this emergency shit, you know, the what is it? I can't even fucking, the prosecutor,
hey,
himself.
But that's how nollies work.
But what I'm saying, just an emergency out of nowhere, or do most people go to their scheduled court appearance?
Sometimes they work like that. Nollies work like that. If you look at other cases, it's the same thing. You know, like the lawyers will get in touch with the prosecutors, and they'll say, all right, listen, let's not waste any more time. You know, I don't want to take this to trial. You don't want to take this to trial. I know you guys have more important things to do. How can we figure this out? Like, boom, right there. You know what I mean? And sometimes it happens like that.
Okay. Well, one other thing that's odd to me, and when I'm looking at it, like I said, I could be wrong, but how does it seem that he served his community service prior to, you know, any of this happening? Everything would seem like, again, so that's why I say we question the lines of communication that was going on with this. That's why I say it appears to be some type of special treatment, because usually you go to court and say, okay, well, this is what you're going to do. You know, okay, you're going to forfeit your bail fine. Okay, you got to do 16 hours of community service. This is what we're going to give you, and, you know, we're going to clear everything up. But it was like his stuff was already done before he ever stepped in the courtroom. Everything was free and clear from some push coalition. I don't know what that is, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. I think that's why I say it just seems like there have been some special favors going on, because I've had my legal ramifications that I've had to deal with, and, you know, my situation was all right with it. You know, with everything I had to do, I had a bunch of stipulations that went on with my situation, but it was nothing like this. And like I say, you know, it wasn't like, oh, well, while I'm dealing with this, or while I'm waiting on the case, or while I'm waiting on, you know, the outcome, I can go ahead and, you know, clear some of it up. And that's why I say it's some funny business going on here. And I understand, like I say, most of the procedure, but that to me, again, like I say, it's some fishy techniques or some tactics going on here.
Okay, let me try to help you understand that part, though. Like, sometimes when you are going to court and you're trying to get this settled, right, and your lawyer initially meets with the prosecutor, right, that, you know, right then and there, you know, the lawyer will ask the prosecutor, okay, well, you know, how can we get this fixed? You know, is there something we can donate, some amount of monetary amount, you know, like a fee, something donate to, you know, some type of charity, you know, what's the community service I would have to meet? And they would say, okay, well, if you do this, this, and this, then, and you follow through, then we'll definitely nollie it. But we won't nollie it till that happens. So it doesn't get nollied, and then you do the community service. You do the community service, and then it gets nollied, or you pay the fee, and then it gets nollied. They don't have to exclusively, you know, make it public at that point in time, whether they want you to, you know, do ABC and then do the rest. You can actually, you know, if you can show that you actually did community service, or that you are a part of some type of organization where you're helping people, whatever. You know, what the shtick is that he's sorry and he wants to fix what's going on, so he's done ABC, whatever, right? You can do that before the charges get dropped or before the charges get nollied. So whatever it was, I'm not. Listen, I obviously we don't know the details of the case, right? So we're all speculating right now. I'm coming from my knowledge of the criminal justice system, from working within the criminal justice system. So I understand how these things work, right? So once the case, hopefully the case is unsealed, because the judge sealed the case, right, so that no one can see what's going on. But eventually it might get unsealed, and we'll find out. But I'm telling you right now, they said, hey, here are the guidelines, here are the caveats for you to complete. You do this. If you can show that you already did this, then obviously we'll take the fee, and we'll consider the community service done because you did this, and then we'll leave it at that. Obviously, the spin that Jesse's putting on it, or his lawyers are putting on that, yeah, he's not. We told you he wasn't guilty, and blah blah blah. That's just spin. It's all fake. It's all PR, right? Public relations.
Yeah.
He was not exonerated, right? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Resources are limited, and hey, could have been some favoritism. Yeah, maybe. I mean, but at the end of the day, we don't know, and I'm going to side with, what that court district has done in the past, which, like I cited before, 5,700 cases that were similar, disorderly conduct, and were nollied, right? And that's over a span of 2 years. That's something to think about, right? You can't have everybody going to jail. You can't have, especially this famous person going to jail for something that didn't hurt anyone. All right, before I let you go, I wanted to just speak on the Cardi B thing real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
And that is, right, until someone files charges, right, or makes a complaint to the police in regards to what Cardi B claims to have done, then nothing can be done about it. Law enforcement isn't going to go out their way to try to file charges for something that they don't know if it did happen or not. She can claim she did all that stuff, just like people claim that they shoot people or they sell drugs or whatever. You can make all those claims, right? At the end of the day, unless you have some type of witness, some type of victim, or some type of evidence that absolutely is tangible and can tie someone to those crimes, law enforcement is not going to file any charges against her. It doesn't make sense,
Okay. Let me see. I appreciate your call, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna cut you slightly short because I would listen up, but I gotta take a small break real quick if y'all got what that means. But I appreciate your call there, man.
Hi, brother. All right, be safe.
All right, so yeah, y'all heard. Look, I gotta take a small pause. Let me see where we at. We close to that. I'm gonna throw an extra 5-10 minutes on it when I get back. Give me just a second, and then we'll be right back in the conversation. Oh shit! I cut the wrong shit. I thought I cut the mic off, cut the music off. Y'all in here dry like a motherfucker. Ain't that a bitch? Let's get back in it. Anywho, y'all ain't hear shit. Restroom ain't even nearby. Goddamn! All y'all heard was the keys and the door and the shit closing, opening and closing. It's on a whole nother level. Y'all ain't hear a goddamn thing. Somebody been calling. Let's take this call real quick. Then I missed it. Because I got a bunch of points I need to make sure that I refute and speak on. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hopefully it's my last time calling. It's prepaid.
Really?
I usually don't put my glasses on at night, but I see we got somebody who think they know something about the law, so let me go ahead and help you out a little bit.
Okay.
You like the word knowledge. I get it. You learned it. I'm happy that wherever you interned it, they taught you a word, but let me help you out with something. You said you can't give different treatment to celebrities in the quote-unquote justice system. Justice was charged with one count of disorderly conduct, which was a class 4 felony, was the lowest class, correct, sir? NPC, that's what you said? His bond was $100,000. If you were charged with the same charge, your bond wouldn't have been $100,000. So they did give him different treatment. R. Kelly had 14 counts of sexual assault, correct? His bond was $1 million. Okay, follow me, sir. Walk with me here so we can get somewhere. A week and 1 day later, 8 days later, R. Kelly was ordered to pay $161 in child support. Follow me here. R. Kelly went to court, said he had $62,000 in cash. The judge told him that was not sufficient, which even though it was over 25% of what he owed, and put him back in jail. That's special treatment. If you owed $160 on child support and you had $45, they would have gladly accepted it. This happens every day in our justice system. Now, since you want to use, quote unquote, they mentioned a whole bunch of cases, that's called jurisprudence. When you go to a case that's already happened, it's called jurisprudence. The reason why that's not a valid reason for why his case got quote unquote knowledge is because his case was sealed. If a case is sealed, you can no longer use that for future jurisprudence. That's the reason why that doesn't hold up in anything that you're saying right now. Now, let's keep going. You said Chicago didn't have the resources. They used 12 detectives. 12 detectives who worked at least 6 hours a day on this said case. So it's obvious they have the resources. And no, it's not overcrowded in Chicago jail to where they won't put your ass in there. Just so we can have a little bit of walk, so we can walk and relate to each other. Back in 2005, Honcho, I was in college. Went to a club off Sage Road. Used to have a good old time over there. I can't think of the name of the club right now. Got into a good old fight, little scuffle with my homeboys. Guess who went to jail for disturbing the peace? The lowest level misdemeanor you can get. So you mean to tell me they're not gonna lock you up for a class 4 felony, but they'll put you in jail for a motherfucking misdemeanor? Come on, man, stop that shit. Stop that shit. You can go to jail for jaywalking if the right cop pull you over. What you're saying doesn't make any sense, dude. You're trying to come out here and you throw a few little legal jargon around, think it's going to hold any weight. That shit don't hold no weight here. That shit don't hold no weight here, bro. I do this shit every day of my life. So you can go ahead and kill that shit. Let me help you out on how the justice system really works. 95% of people in America take a plea deal. Those 95 people are usually poor because rich people don't go to prison, i.e. Jussie Smollett, as you can see. Now, once again, as I said before, if you decide, whatever you do, you wake up tomorrow and take your happy ass down anywhere you go and have 16 misdemeanors, you're going to jail, let alone 16 felonies. It does not matter if they run concurrent because you're still going to jail, fool. Yet Jesse didn't go to jail at all. That's what happens when you have connections. This is what happens when you have money. It has nothing to do with they don't want to use the resources. Bullshit. Bullshit. If you riding around Chicago right now, Lee is a notorious gangster. He can call in and tell you. Turn your music up too loud and ride around Chicago and see what happened. They taking your stupid ass straight to jail. You will not pass go. Also, you cannot use jurisprudence about Jussie Smollett case saying this is what happened in other times. None of these people have faked the hate hoax. Disorderly conduct is disorderly conduct. It became a felony because he lied to the cops 16 times. You can't use that. No one else lied to the cops 16 times and had their case knowledge. You don't really understand how the justice system works. You have a pretty good understanding of it, but you don't know the intertwinings of it at all. Because if you're trying to quote a case on jurisprudence and his case has been sealed, none of them other cases were sealed, fool. Honcho, you've been locked up before. Anybody in the den who's been locked up before, go and Google your name versus whatever county you were arrested in. I guarantee it'll pop up. You want to know why? Because they're not going to seal your fucking case. It's going to always be there. Yet they call emergency meeting, expunged him, his record, and sealed his case. But you're telling me it's because of the resources. Right. Also, just so you know, once the case is sealed, just the attorney can come on here and say what the fuck he want to say. It don't really matter. They wasn't coming out saying that shit when the case was open. That's all you need to know. You can say, well, shit, Jesse was innocent. He don't even know the Nigerians. Also, because someone in the chat mentioned about the check. Let me help you out with something. The Osendower brothers were asked by Charlie Demir today. If you don't know the guy I'm talking about, he's the guy that broke the story. His name is Charlie D-E with a space M-A-R, Demir. He spoke to the Osendower brothers. Their personal training is $20 at the lowest per hour to $50. Jesse Smollett said he was going to do a 5-week training. If the Nigerians, who were actually American people born in Chicago, if they were going to go to Nigeria for 2 weeks, how are you going to get 5 weeks training in from that? The arithmetic is very simple. He was going to pay for the training and pay for the quote-unquote hookup, the little deal they had. If your trainer goes to Nigeria, they stop in Istanbul, Turkey, and you are calling them at 4 o'clock in the morning, what training tip was he giving them? Once you've already been arrested. He talked to them while they were in Turkey and when they were in Nigeria. So for a person who does not know who committed this crime on you, why are you constantly on the phone with them? Why are you hiding your phone records? Why are you redacting everything? It's obvious that we know what you're doing. You're hiding it. So please stop acting like you know what you're talking about from a legal standpoint. You do not know what you're talking about. You have no idea. And if you're going to come here and quote us what you heard Justice Smollett attorney say, come on, man, cut that shit. I'm done. Hopefully, you don't call back in with that bullshit, because whatever you selling, I ain't buying it. Thank y'all. I'm going to take my glasses off and go have a good night.
Appreciate the call, prepaid. Oh, man. And I got to catch that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that with the lawyers in that whole situation. We got some more calls coming in. I don't know, it cut out on me. It was calling, then it cut out. I don't know what's happening. Y'all ain't want to talk. Why you calling? Y'all ain't want to talk, goddamn. Why does it keep doing that? I guess it must be a bunch of people calling at the same time, because like they keep calling and cutting out. I don't know if I'm catching the call or not. I done clicked it. Look, y'all must have the lines fired up, man, because there's a bunch of folks calling in at one time, and then I guess I ain't taking nobody calls. Let's try to get it right. Let's see. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? No, this is my Miss Rashida. That's it. It's blowing up. The line is hot fire right now. Shit, it's
number, because this shit don't work for me, because I can't be waiting in line like this.
Oh, you want the VIP line number? Okay.
Yeah, give me a VIP line number. Shit. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I see a lot of people just didn't watch the Kim Fox interview, because she cleared up a lot of shit for everybody today about what happened with the Justice Smollett case.
Okay.
Now, apparently, he went through the diversion program, which is like an alternative legal process or something. You know, I'm not with all that legal this and that, so some stuff I understood what she was saying, some stuff I ain't understand. But what I did get from it was that she was saying they had the evidence to prosecute him, and she felt that they could have a successful prosecution against him. And she said that as part of the program, it's usually no jail time, and it's like restitution and community service. She said for the charge that he had, it's usually no jail time. So to prosecute him wouldn't have led to jail time, and it would have been a waste of their resources.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, so I didn't
So they cleared up a lot. They cleared up a lot of stuff for me.
Okay.
And the most that they normally pay is like $10,000, which is what his bond bail was that he had up there, $10,000, which is what he gave them. And see, once you complete your community service hours, then they bring you back and dismiss your case, which is what they did.
I see.
So, like I said, a lot of people just need to watch her interview. Then we won't have all these different theories and what this and what that, because she cleared it up. Whether she was lying or not, I don't know. Yeah. But that's what she said.
Okay, now I'm familiar with diversion programs. They had a homeboy go through something similar out here in the city. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Now something like that's understood, but at the same time, okay, so that clarifies. Let's say that clarifies that aspect. The expungement still.
Now, I just want to dress up and somebody say it right quick.
Okay, what you got?
It was a felony, but it was the lowest level felony, which is like one step above a misdemeanor. So we all thinking felony a lot of time. No, this is like a misdemeanor felony. Yeah.
So, well, my thing is still, it's like, well, where do you think that he gets off with the audacity to sit here, that knowing that you did all that, of course, case closed, sealed, whatever you want to say, that he can go off and try to push the idea that he was innocent, and now you got people running around believing that, with all that being said. So,
and see, that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because he got everybody at each other's throat over some shit he know he did, and he still want to play the victim.
Okay. So don't you think, and ideally I think that, because again, I don't think this case was normal like all the other cases. Again, like I know it was mentioned about all other previous cases, but everybody else who has probably done this, again, I don't feel like they fabricated a whole situation and created a fake situation. Then two, they, even though his lawyer was talking about, oh, well, they went to the media and they did this and they did that and they did this. But didn't he do the same thing? Didn't he run out to Good Morning America? Didn't he use his platform as a singer to try to push all that? Didn't he use, Lee Daniels, all these other motherfuckers and all this celebrity that he has? And nobody else, any other regular person, that wouldn't have happened, right? So he created this whole fake fabrication. Like, honestly, I think she still did him a favor.
Yeah,
because he should have been exposed.
The charge, the charge should have been higher because it was a hoax. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like giving a false police report. You orchestrated the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
So his felony charge should have been higher from the beginning. He should have never had the lowest level felony charge. That was the favor. That was the first favor right there with the charge.
Okay.
How you gonna compare his case to all these other cases when he is the mastermind behind the whole thing?
What they call that, conspiracy?
Hell yeah, conspiracy. Then he went out and found his actors and all this costumes, everything. He put on the whole production. You know what I'm saying?
Costumes. So, damn, Phoenix, you got a conspiracy to eat some Zaxby's, Phoenix. But no, my thing is this, though. It's like, and that's what I think, that sometimes you have to make an example. And what it is if you had the evidence, and this is why I say a favor was still done. If you had the evidence and you felt like you could have had a successful case, you should have had that. You should have had that case. You got a couple of things going on, and this is why I say it's bigger than just Juicy Jesse. One, the character of the Chicago Police Department has been in question by many folks for quite some time now. We always continue to allude to Laquan McDonald and some other things that have happened in Chicago. But I think there's some bigger issues in Chicago than just the police department, because the police ain't killing, 300-400 niggas a year, but that's what we're gonna focus on. But anyway, they're the big problem. But the thing that I'm saying is that we have to me again, like I say, you're a prosecutor or whatever. You work hand in hand with the police on a daily. The least you could have did was throw them the alley-oop, which was, all right, here, we're going to give you a chance to prove this case that this man went out and basically said y'all were lying. He discredited y'all. Y'all dedicated these hours. And I saw someone on TV talking about, well, that was the choice of the Chicago Police Department to dedicate all those man hours. Well, if they hadn't, then more than likely they probably might have gotten to the results that they did, which is probably what he was expected initially in the first place, with the way people feel and think about the Chicago Police Department. He figured they weren't going to dedicate too much to it, so they wasn't going to get to the bottom of it, and he'd be able to kind of be some gay knight in shining armor, gay Tupac, if you will. And I think that's what he expected. I feel like the case should have been tried. I understand resource, I understand, everything else with it, but the way that he put the entire city of Chicago out there by, like I said, running out there and doing Good Morning America. He wanted to do that. They didn't ask him. He wanted to do that. Running all these platforms, all these medias, TMZ, all this other stuff, all these stories that weren't making sense. I think an example should have been made of him. Even if they didn't they didn't throw the book at him because they couldn't. They should at least have let the facts get put out there so that the world could see it. So I think that whoever it was, like I say, Kim Fox and whoever else, that they did a disservice to that police department. And trust me, I'm not always the first person to run up and defend the police. But in this situation where they went above and beyond the call of duty, if you will, to figure it out, shit, he needed to be exposed for all the bullshit. Because now look, what can they say? The case is sealed, so you can't get the information. Now he running around. Most people are foolish saying that he's innocent.
That might have been a mistake. She was saying that might have been a mistake. That might get unsealed. They were saying that case shouldn't have been sealed. They think it was a clerical error or something. So we gonna see about that.
Oh, a clerical error. Because like I said, when I was looking, like I said, I was checking into some things, and I didn't know if Chicago, of course, different state, different jurisdiction. I know what?
Some parts should have been sealed, but the whole thing wasn't supposed to be sealed like that. Okay. So we gonna see how that play out.
Okay. And so my thing was, because I know in the city down here, you got to take a little bit, you got to finish all your duties. And then once you're done with that, it still takes a little while before you get an expungement, several weeks to several years, depending on what the situation is. And with that, I was trying to, see what it was in Chicago. And in Chicago, it said something along the same lines that it takes, a couple of weeks up to 30 days. And then, sometime after that. And so to have his shit immediately expunged after that whole situation is I found that to be very interesting. And that's why I say I just felt like it was some other things going on. So if there was a clerical error, that'll be very interesting, because you need to unclerical that error.
Watched the interview. Everybody watched the Kim Fox interview about the situation. That'll clear up a lot of things, because it really helped me understand things. Even though I'm not all legal and I don't get all this and that, but I got a better understanding of what happened.
Okay.
Not that I agree with it, you know what I'm saying, but I understood. And at the end of the day, it is a business, and they don't want to waste resources on a case that's not gonna have any jail time.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think that the evidence should be out there, just so because I just think the way that he went on tour and went on promotion about this whole thing, I feel like, hey, well, then let's go ahead and get this clarified, because now he running around acting like because you still got people believing that something happened to him when it's obvious that it didn't. You know what I mean? It's obvious that it didn't. Miss Thang, appreciate you coming through. And that's what irks me, because he's still trying to play the hero, and his people still eating that shit up.
And like she also said, he wouldn't have been so wanting to forfeit his bond and do the community service if he didn't feel like they had a case.
Exactly. He knew something was up. He just saying, it is what it is, though. I think it was a bunch of shenanigans. But I'm going to check that out. I'm glad you told me about that. I'll look into it.
Yeah, because I just want to know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just jumping on here saying this and coming up with you. I want to know what I'm talking about, so I don't sound easy. I don't want to have a list something, know a list something,
Yeah, be ahead of the game. Yeah.
But I want to jump on this Cardi B thing. Right?
Oh, yeah, because we did start off talking about Cardi B. We've been Justin and took control of the conversation with his gay self. He took over. What you got? What you got on Cardi, man?
Man, I'm just a little disappointed that we want to try to put her image up there as a representative of black women and young black girls for to be a role model. And that shit really don't sit well with me. And it never did, actually. I mean, we should have just left her ass on Love and Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like part of the reason they doing this now, they want to bring her down. Y'all, why y'all bring her up to bring her down? You know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like they don't want her up there now. So now they looking for anything to bring her down. Because she clearly said this 2 years ago. Now, you could have came with the shit 2 years ago to prosecute her.
But you know how they say they did Kevin Hart? I forgot. I remember they went and dug some old 10-year-old shit up about him that he had already apologized when his shit wasn't even criminal. So, you know, motherfuckers really don't be having time. I mean, they do have time on their hands just to go digging. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start with shit like that.
When they looking to bring you down, that's what they gonna do. People tired of Cardi ass. They really just sick of her. They want her at the spotlight. And then when she won that Grammy, you know, that did not help her. And then she get online all the time, acting stupid, cursing, fighting, all this stuff. She just set a bad example and image for people. And then got the nerve to tell these young girls to sell they pussy. She ain't even selling hood. She out there robbing people.
And she couldn't sell it. I heard it. They said somebody was talking about it was funky. So I guess she couldn't get the going rate.
Like, she can't make no money. That's why she can't make no money.
I mean, my thing is this, man. And again, like I say, you know, if you did it, that's it's not fine, you know. But my thing is the fact that she tried to glorify the shit. Like,
exactly.
I had to do it to basically saying to make ends meet. But then you go back door and say I had all these purses, I had all these shoes, I just got my titties done, I just got this work done, I just done all this, but I only had $2,000 in my account, so I wanted more. I had a number. So my thing is, well, why instead of buying all that bullshit, if you had enough assets or your body was good enough to get you that far, why don't you just, you know, continue doing what you was doing before you start all the extra shenanigans? Because that's greed. That ain't got nothing to do with you starving, trying to survive out in these streets. It ain't got shit to do with that.
She done came a long way in the looks department. When she don't have no makeup, she through. You know what I'm saying? So she, I don't know. She just,
that's what she,
right. But this what happened when you promote hood red, ghetto hood red.
Yeah.
And then get mad because they act how they act. That's what y'all thought. You was gonna change her. She is who she is.
But my thing with that is, and too, when she was talking about she was setting niggas up with the tranny and shit. But I'm like, how the fuck you just out here hanging? But then she kind of favored one. I ain't gonna lie. She a little. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't see what motherfuckers see in it. Like, that's why I say a lot of these new breed women. I wish they wouldn't. Like I said, I like natural. That's just me. Maybe I'm on my own little island with that. But you know, because you got a lot of these women now. They dress like shit. You don't know if they women, are they the ones reading the books to the kids at the library? You know, they drag queens, or they, you know, it's just so much makeup and so much shit. You know, all the shit that they motherfucking do. Like, this shit ain't kosher to me. I want to know what the fuck you look like. I don't want to know what your art game like. You know, shit. Draw me a picture, some shit. I don't want to see it all on your face. Like, cause it's just crazy looking. She's not, like I say, but niggas be. I don't think she's that attractive. I'm not a fan of Nicki Minaj either. I don't really care about either one of them, so it ain't like no this one over that one for me. I didn't, like I said, I've never watched Love and Hip Hop. I don't watch none of these things.
Nicki to me don't carry herself like Cardi B. She don't carry herself as ratchet. She ratchet, but she ain't like that kind of ratchet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she ain't the ghetto ratchet.
Yeah. Man, my thing is, she out of conceit, but her booty hard. That's my problem with Nicki Minaj. That little fake butt is hard. She be trying to twerk that thing. That thing move as one unit. It ain't got no shake to it. It just go up and down. It ain't got no, it's either left or right, up and that can't move diagonally. It ain't got no jiggle to it. It ain't got no, circular motion. That motherfucker just look like a hard little block.
Right, her whole body is just plastic. That's why it don't move. That's why she's stiff. She can't dance. All that plastic, plastic everywhere. Like, sister, stop.
Yeah. So, like I say, man, it's crazy shit, man. And I don't know. I don't know. It's like I said.
And I also want to say free Bill Cosby. Goddamn shit.
Ass like a D-pad. You ain't lying. Free Bill Cosby. Man, look, Bill gonna come out that bitch swole. Ain't nobody gonna want no smoke with Bill. Bill gonna be in there. No, like, I ain't gonna do Bill bad like that. He gonna be in there looking like the booty warrior and shit. But yeah, Bill, ain't nobody gonna take his jello, man. You know what I'm saying? So.
And just because you're a stripper don't mean you make a lot of money. It depends on where you're stripping at. And by the looks of her, you know they wasn't hiring her at no high-end clubs to make no lot of money. She's probably stripping in the liquor stores and all the other kind of
stripping in the liquor store? God damn.
Yeah, something. Because, I mean, come on now. It was one of her friends or something was talking about how when she first met Cardi was toe down looking, you know, he needed a new do and just was dirty. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's terrible. Terrible. But, you know, that should be an inspiration to anybody. you can be a little dirty motherfucker and come up and get you a Grammy Award winning deal, man. So you just gotta
yeah, she came a long way. She came a long way in a short time, but you know. I don't necessarily know that she deserved that, but you know, it is.
But she said that, but that's what happened. That's what got this. You better be careful. That's what got this whole thing started, because that's why she was beefing. Because people said that she didn't deserve that, and she started talking about that's why she was robbing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, my thing was, that's all I'm saying is you were never in a position that, especially as a woman, you know, you may be willing to do some things you don't want to do. That's if you put yourself in that position. But my thing is, because you was already putting yourself out there, so you might as well, you know, paid your dues or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But yeah, she just, to me, like I said, it's just a bad example because she's such a high profile individual. You know, and the thing is, she's currently in her prime. We go find all these old dudes that they trying to cancel and stuff. They, like somebody was saying, you know, Michael Jackson been dead 10 years. R. Kelly shit was 20 years ago. You know, Bill shit was 30 years ago. This shit was 2 or 3 years ago, so it's still within the realm of what they call it, statute of limitations and all that other shit. But
they gonna have a hard time though finding them men to come from.
Man, look, we live in a thirsty ass society, and if a motherfucker think he can get some fame, man, they don't give a shit. Them men gonna tell their wife, look, you know, baby, before I met you, you know, I was at the strip club doing this, man, and the wife gonna be cool with it. Like I say, motherfuckers are so thirsty and clout chasing. Well, my husband, he had a chance to fuck Cardi B, so you know they gonna get the little Twitter fame and everything. Man, people don't give a fuck nowadays, and that's the sad part about it, because people just don't give a shit. And I think, like, I don't think if a motherfucker married anything, they gonna care. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep fucking with Bill, yeah.
But if she trying to say they was tricks, you know, ain't no man much don't want to come say, yeah, I was out there tricking. That's a crime too, prostitution at least.
These motherfuckers don't give a shit. And that's what I'm saying, man. They don't give a shit. And that's what I was thinking too, more so a civil case than a criminal case. And then once that started happening, you know, people gonna start jumping shit because they're gonna try to settle some shit out of court or whatever. Because even if it did or didn't, you know what I'm saying, she ain't gonna want that to come back and bite her now. You know, Offset gonna probably, what's the one she with the Migos? Is it Offset or the Takeoff? Whatever the Migos she with. You know, he gonna try to set it off. Probably gonna try to be mad. Like I say, all this dumb shit, man. Like I say, you know, it is what it is. But they encourage this behavior. The media encourages behavior. He only with it because he knows she a top-notch, top-selling artist and shit. Exactly. It's like my thing is, it's terrible. It's terrible, man. It's all bad business. It's all shenanigans. But
to me, she's like a cartoon character. I don't even feel like she's real. Like, she just like so want to be hood. Like, you don't even have to live that life. Like, and I don't even understand why people do that. Like, you want to be so this and that you don't have to be. It's people that really have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to do that shit, but you out there like that's glamorous. I feel like she care more about her street reputation than she do her reputation as making her money.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
You want to be known as Cardi where's she from, the Bronx?
I don't know. She went because I think somebody had got on her about some shit. Because then was she saying she was a blood or some shit like that, and then she had the little blue thing. I remember I think Nipsey or somebody was talking about some of that shit. But you know, it is what it is. But hey, man, look, Jack. You know, Miss Rashida. You know, I love talking to you. Which I see you. What you did?
I have been on here a minute.
You try to see. You trying to fool me because the other day you said I tried to run you off. See what you trying to do now? You trying to make me keep the den going because you know I get deep off in the conversation with you. And see, y'all must have a backdoor conversation. They was probably like, tell Rashida to call in late so the den keep on going because you know Honcho gonna sit there and talk to. See, y'all to set me up. I see what this is. Y'all
but so
trying
you
to have a cool.
spending too much time on that other show. That's the problem.
What you mean? I ain't even been dripping the sauce today. I ain't even do no sauce today. You know what I'm saying?
You did? Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad, then. I'll finna talk for shit. I can't say shit now.
Yeah, I've been neglecting the sauce for the den, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, the den, you know, y'all stay consistent. The sauce, they only want to talk if the damn team doing something. The team ain't doing shit, so nobody want to talk to me. I be in there by myself. Don't nobody want to fuck with it.
Nah, y'all be talking sometimes. Y'all be getting into it. It should be funny. I just be looking in there laughing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, but I appreciate it, Miss Rashida.
Oh, okay. You trying to get me off? Y'all see, he trying to get me off the phone now. So don't say that was me. That was him. He trying to close the den, y'all. Don't let him.
You know, I gotta work on a few improvements. I got jot down. I got some ideas, some things I need to improve for the den, and you know, I'm gonna spend a little time working on that before I go to bed tonight. But I appreciate y'all calling. You know, I'll be trying to rush y'all a lot.
Wait a minute, hold on. DeMarcus, you talking about that, Rashida? What you like? You finna hit the button or something? Cause you a moderator. You trying to hang up on me or something? Can they hang up on people?
No, they can't. They ain't got no access to the button.
Oh, so you ain't got no power, so ha. All right, we're gone. I'm gone now. Good night.
Already. Appreciate it.
All right.
Oh man. Shout out to Miss Rashida. I feel better now. Hold on 1 second. Y'all be trying to do me bad, man. We're gonna make this quick. All right, we're gonna do a quick one. Who we got calling in?
Yeah, this is Lee calling in again, man.
All right, what you got? We're gonna make it quick. I'm about to get ready to wrap it up. What you got for me, man?
All right, yeah. This just tripped me out and stuff. I saw that Sarah was trying to figure out who I was in the chat and all types of shit, everything else. If she wanted to contact me and shit when she off duty, then, like, you got my phone number. Give that fool my phone number. She can talk to me and shit. I don't give a fuck. But here's the other thing and shit, right? That damn, what's his name, prepaid Mike and shit. Mm-hmm. I'm not no fucking gangbanger, nigga. Why the fuck you talking to, nigga? Like, what the fuck is wrong with them motherfuckers? Him and Jay Zizzle need to fucking stand the fuck down. My dad was in the Army, and he trained me how to fucking fight. That's about it. I'll fuck somebody up. That's about it. Them fucking white dudes knew that I could fuck somebody up, but I'm not a fucking murderer, and I'm not a fucking gangbanger either, and I'm not a stupid motherfucker either. And you was like talking about you could freestyle or some shit and stuff too. You know what? It probably fucked their heads up is if my voice and your voice was on the fucking track. And I got some badass beats that I've been fucking sitting up stashing on the side and shit too.
Nah, man, so, look, man, I'm retired, man. Look, Jack, I ain't. It's been a long time since I did rap some anything, man. I ain't even gonna try to.
For real. I got some bad shit. Somebody fucking endorsed some of my fucking songs, and they beats are off the fucking chain. Okay. Like on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's so they can hear some intelligent motherfuckers spitting and shit, because I'm quite sure you probably spit something fucking ridiculous.
Man, Jack, look, I used to try to be on some old, what the kids call it nowadays, some old woke shit. Ain't nobody want to hear it. They wasn't feeling that shit. They was like, man, get on with that bullshit. We want to hear that ratchet shit. You trying to be too woke.
We don't got to aim it at the knuckleheads, though.
Oh, man, how about this, though? This is what we going to do. Lee, man. Look, shoot me something to the Den Show Live and so where I can check you out, and then we'll make something shake, man. denshowlive@gmail.com. I'll check you out. I might crawl out of retirement. You know, I'm old and shit. But we're gonna get ready to wind it down here, man, because like I said, I got a couple things I got to tell to, but I appreciate you calling in, though, man.
I heard it, man.
Nah, really. Yeah, look, y'all try to bring the nigga all the way out the motherfucking thing. Man, do I have? I don't think that I do. I don't think that I do. Persuasion. I seen one more. I'm gonna take this last. I know they've been trying to get in for a hot minuto. Hold on, we got. Hold on, might have a special surprise. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Lee, this is prepaid Mike. No one called you a blood. God, no one called you a gangster, dude. I said I'm a blood, not you. You don't have to get wrapped in this shit with us. Me and Jay Dilla said we was bloods. I don't know what you was. But listen, you can't diss me and then promote your beats in your mixtape. Because if it's gonna be on wax, it gotta be on wax. So you gotta give me a chance to put my shit out there. So like you can't just can't diss me on like your song and then just like expect me to come back with my shit.
Oh man.
So I mean you go like are we gonna drop the track or like nigga what you got like what you gonna do here?
We gonna have a freestyle Friday like in the den like used to be on 106 in Park.
I'm rapping about all legal shit. That's all I got.
Okay.
And blood shit because I'm a Pyru. Y'all have a good night.
Legal Blood, man. Hold on, that's the new name. Look at I ain't heard that new Legal Blood, man. Hey, that Legal Blood jamming like a motherfucker. Gonna be some old crip niggas talking about, say, cuz, you heard that Legal Blood, cuz? That nigga jamming like a bitch, cuz. And I seen, it was one more number that was calling. Hold on. We gotta look, y'all look. I can't never get out the den fucking with y'all. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Honcho.
What's the motherfucking deal, Jay? Is it Jay Dizzle or is it Professor Dizzle right now?
No, it's Jay Dizzle right now. What the fuck wrong with this nigga? Like, first of all, nigga, I already made my fucking feelings known the last time you called. Nigga, you just be talking about some wild shit. Like, you just start from one extreme and then just go all the way across the board and then just be zigzagging all over the motherfucking place. Nigga, it's hard to keep up with your conversation because I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about now? You know, I'm not refuting any of it because I don't know if any of it is true because I'm not in that life. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm just going to leave that for you, but I'm still going to make fun of it, nigga. So if you got a problem with it, that's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to leave it at that because ain't no sense in taking that no further. Second of all, with Mr. What's the nigga name? Prepaid Mike, I was agreeing with you 1,000% and stuff, but one thing I think you just forgot or that you just not peeping. Because you was talking about why would, you know what I'm saying, real gangsters don't snitch on themselves. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole fucking point. Think about the shit, the trend that's going on nowadays. Nowadays, niggas is fucking going live committing crime. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's like what they doing nowadays. Niggas don't understand that you're supposed to do your shit in silence and not tell nobody nothing. Nigga, I could have been a drug kingpin, and at this point, I'm finna say, nigga, I ain't never seen or touched a drug a day in my life. I'm never gonna admit that shit. And it's the truth, but if I was, I still wouldn't admit to it. That's just the kind of nigga I am. So you got to really think about how niggas used to be versus how niggas is now. Everybody ain't on that same level no more. Yeah. And the shit earlier was talking about, you know what I'm saying, it was like one side saying, yeah, there is one folks keeping people, niggas down and ain't nobody keeping you down but you. Everybody right. Okay, because if you look at it, everybody is out there for themselves. So if somebody got to step on your neck to get ahead, that's what they're going to do. Whether they black, white, or whatever. So, yeah, other people do keep you down to get ahead. That's a fucking fact, and you can't sit up here and disavow that like that's not true. It is true, but that's not just white people doing it. And it's not just black people doing it. It's everybody for themselves. So it's a fucking free-fall out there. So you got to get in where you fit in. You can make a speech if you want to, or you can just keep on pushing and find another way, whatever it is you feel like you got to do. So everybody's right, all right? So just leave that shit alone. There ain't no two-sided. It's everybody for themselves. Get your money. That's all you need to be doing. So the Cardi B shit, okay. Y'all could boycott her if you want to. I ain't never listened to the bitch in the first place, so it don't make me no difference. I don't care. She can do what she want to do. Justin Smollett, I don't care about that nigga neither. He could do what they could do what they want to do. The people that's mad, you let them motherfuckers do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Only thing I don't like is that he just a nigga that cried wolf and tried to blame it on white folks. So make it for the harder for the next nigga or whoever to blame some shit on white people. It's gonna be just a bunch of shit. So he made us look bad. That's the only part I got about it. But the rest of that shit, he got to deal with himself. So I could care less. If they send him to regular jail, if they give him probation, if they send him to prison, I don't care. So that's how I feel about it.
What if they send him to Port Arthur?
Shit, send him down there. I don't give a fuck. It don't affect me none.
No, man.
He ain't gonna last long down here, I'm gonna tell you that much. You need to come up missing real quick.
That's a wrap. That's what's happening. Man, yeah, it's just a whole off the wall. But I agree with you, like I said, because even before this stuff, like I was not familiar with Jessie. Cardi B, I'm familiar with it, unfortunately, but not that because I listen to it. It's just because if you own any kind of social media, you see this. Because I think I first really started noticing when that little meme was going around. I guess when she was a little kid with the little nappy hair and with the hand on the hip or some shit.
Oh yeah, my mama said shit.
Yeah, that little shit. Like, look at this. And I think that's when I first caught on to that shit. So you know,
the funniest one is said. My mama said we can't watch no Cowboy Super Bowl highlights because we don't have a VCR. Nigga, I fucking died laughing. I thought that shit was so damn funny.
That's wild. That's wild. Alright.
But look, people, it's like this. Y'all understand these people are out there to entertain us. Stop taking the shit that they say for, like, come on, bro. You got to understand, a lot of these motherfuckers ain't intelligent. Just listen to them. You could just listen to them and tell who got some sense and who don't. It's not that hard, man. So y'all can sit up here wanting to go back and forth or try to defend them or try to promote them all you want to. But just come on, man. A lot of us know that these people ain't got no brains. They just happen to be good at whatever it is they trying to be good at, or they just a good business person where they're able to take advantage of business opportunities and make them some money. So I'm not knocking them for that. But I'm not going to look for them for no motherfucker moral guidance or be my moral compass. You got me fucked up. I ain't finna put that in front of nobody. So just take the knowledge that you can possibly get out of it, or if it's just a bunch of dumb shit, just laugh at it. Don't sit up here and get mad about it. Just laugh at that shit. It's funny.
I agree, but it's unfortunate. There's a lot of people who unfortunately don't believe in that advice. They think anybody who's famous, they look at it like they got some type of level of intelligence, or they just got the formula and they follow and copy that shit to the T. I mean, because you got to look at this. This is we're in the challenge generation where you can call anything a challenge and people just start doing it. So I mean, you know, the brain cells are getting spread real thin these days, and so the people are looking up there, they're going for the bar. If the bar is set real low and it looks easy to do, that's the shit that people are promoting. And Cardi B is the personification of the low bar. And so, you know, motherfuckers is fucking with that shit. You know what I mean? But I think, yeah, you just got to be smarter and not fuck with that shit, man. But I don't think a lot of people do. I think this is getting worse and worse as the years go on.
Yeah, just learn to understand what things are and take it for what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, I'm not saying that some of these celebrities don't have brains, because some of them do, you know what I'm saying? And some of them can say some really profound shit. But you got some of them out here that's just some fucking weirdos. And you got to understand when you listen to a weirdo or you hear some motherfucker talking crazy, i.e. Mr. Lee. That nigga is crazy. I don't know if he a blood or where he from or where his daddy did. That nigga just sounds crazy to me. That's just my opinion. He might not be. He might be perfectly sane where he come from. But where I'm come from, we're going to be looking at this nigga like, man, look at this nigga on. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So, you know, that may just be his personality. I think he's funny. Ain't nothing personal. I just think he's funny. That's it. So don't get mad, nigga. I'm just laughing at you. That's the
thing. Okay. Yeah, man. We need Lee to bring some diversity to the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And Miss Heidi, you cannot be the king of the den or queen of the den you ain't never called in. So you can go and miss me with that bullshit. I don't give a shit how many hours you had consecutive listening or watching. All you over there doing is just typing. If you ain't talking no real shit, you can go and miss me with that bullshit. So you can move around Brown with all that. And Honcho, you need to re-roll these motherfucking moderators. It's time for some new blood in this thing. Because I need to handle up on some of these moderators out there. They getting a little too comfortable in their situation. So they need to get dealt with. I need to drop the hammer on these motherfuckers. If you know who you is. So hopefully if I can talk Honcho into doing it, y'all better watch y'all back because I'm on it. I'm ready to. As soon as I get the green light, that shit all right.
We'll see what's happening. I mean, we all back on the same playing field now that everybody lost their hours to sort of switched everything up. But it'll be we'll see what's shaking, man. We'll see what's shaking.
All right, that's a bet.
All right.
All right.
Bet. All right. Now, look, I'm taking one final call. I know somebody been trying hard to get in on this line for quite some time now. And then after that, I'm going to bed. I am not going to bed, but I'm going to do some work, and then I'm going to bed. But so I'm going to take one final call. Like I said, I know you know who you are. You've been trying to get in on the line quite some time, man. So I'll give it to you. Nah, they just tied back. They're not gone. They just because the way that got them styled to keep them up out of the face and shit. But I'm about to take that shit down. I meant to take it down today. I ain't halftime. Now, they ain't going nowhere, not yet. And that shit happen. It's going to be ceremonious as long as I've been dealing with these motherfuckers. Man, the T.I. thing is interesting. No, it's not. It's a bunch of bullshit. Like, I don't be wanting to hear what T.I. got to say. And I'm not that I knock it. I mean, and like Jay Dizzle came, he corrected me with the song that, he, basically tell not to do what he did. And I feel all that. But I seen the little video of him trying to check somebody for wearing Gucci. Like, if you don't get your bitch ass, like, that probably would have been all I had to say to that motherfucker. Man, T.I., if you don't get your bitch ass on, man, look, you go rap. Go do a collaboration with Iggy or something. Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit. Like, look, man, I just say, it ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. It's just like, I mean, it's a point in time where it's you had your run. Why is it that when all these celebrities, once they kind of start reaching the end of what they're famous for, they start reaching out and doing some old anything? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what happened. When they reach the end of their career, they either become preachers or these motherfuckers are activists, and fucking Snoop started doing gospel music. He ran out of raps. This nigga started doing reggae music, gospel music. He went from braided up Snoop to dreaded up Snoop Lion. This nigga doing karate. You know what I'm saying? This nigga Snoop doing any and everything. Snoop can't tell nobody shit about shit. He over there, you kicking it with Martha Stewart and shit. Y'all motherfuckers doing cooking shows looking like y'all having tea time and shit. All these motherfuckers really just be on some shenanigans. Now, somebody had been calling in all this time. And now, look, I gotta stop calling. I'm trying to wait on you. I'm trying to give you a due because I've been seeing the number come up, but every time it come up, somebody else call in or whatever to hang up, somebody else call in. Trying to give you a shot. Man. Yeah, and that's my thing is when you've been telling motherfuckers, fuck that nigga, shoot that nigga, do this, do that. If it ain't about the money, and I ain't gonna say I ain't jam this shit, but you put all of a sudden now it's integrity. When it used to be all about the money, it used to be all about everything else, But now motherfuckers say some shit. Like, you gotta stop with the misguided shit. That's the shit that killed me. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be. Man, niggas ain't buying no motherfucking Gucci like that. Like, come on. Like, yeah, niggas is buying it, not affording it, they buying it, but the fucking shit is that it's motherfuckers spending more money, but the thing is they not bragging on it. You know what I'm saying? They not bragging on the fact that they buy that shit because they got a closet full of that and everything else. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho, this is Sean again.
Hey, Miss Sean. I've been seeing you trying to get in every time you call. Somebody's on the phone.
Just to let everybody know that it's hard because I have to flip back and forth, and I missed the chat, and then I missed everything in the den and all the calls, so I may be like late because when I try to call in, I'm not like up to speed. I'm like behind time. So if you give me some, apologies or whatever. Okay, so here we go. This is why I'm calling back. Okay, so I'm way late. First of all, big ups to Bowman. I just love that little guy. He has so much old wisdom, and I want to encourage that. And I want to just put out everything for him in terms of OG motherhood or whatever. Get a good woman. He's learning a lot in the den, and the den is going to probably help him pick the right woman for his life.
Yes.
Because he was kind of, you know what I mean? He was coming on, and there was some other stuff. I was going to get all rancid with it, but I ain't even going to do that. So I just want him to be cool. But here's what I really needed to, and I've been trying like 1 hour to get in, and I don't know if this is a confession or if this is, with the on topic with Cardi B. And the reason why I'm calling back, first of all, I call and I listen and I chat, but I don't generally be doing a whole lot of calling, not unless it's like passionate. But this is like a little bit passionate with me with the Cardi B thing. Okay, so what I want, and it might almost be a confession at the same time. So I got like some combined shit going on. Cardi B like really fucking violated. She violated because, everything that she did, it's like I understand her. She was totally wrong. And if she really did that shit, she needs to be locked up and she needs to go to jail and whatever else. But with the friends in the den, and if we are all friends in the den and degenerates and whatever the hell we want to call our fucking selves, there's a confession on the other side of that. So I have okay, hear me out. I've got a little bit of understanding. This is what I was trying to tell you all earlier. When I called the first time, I said, okay, that's rolling a nigga. Okay, so where did that come from? I'm going to tell you where that come from. I'm going to tell you exactly where that come from, because I was in that life. I know the pimp and prostitute life. I lived it almost half my life. Right? And in a very, very serious way. But I was never a prostitute. I was like the prodigy. I was a daughter. I was a daughter of a pimp and a prostitute. That's my confession. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Okay.
I want you to really register that shit.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So I know that life, but I know it from a different perspective. I was their daughter. See? So, but when you daughter of the queen bee and the pimp, you the best of the best. You the highest of the highest, right? But you grow up in a way that I didn't know was wrong initially, but as I got older, I knew it was wrong because I was the best. I mean, I was the baby. I was the baby of the pimp. I was like the best, right? But then when I got older, I understood the differences. So I understand a pimp life. I understand a whole life, and I understand what we call in modern day. I'm old school, whole product protocol. So that's when I said I got angry at her. Okay, so she came out in modern time on the wrong type of tip. She not on street time no more. She violated street code. Okay? So now she on this Grammy shit. She up in this different world that she don't understand. Well, her world is the bottom world. But they think us as the bottom. So she forgot her code. That's why she about to go down. You don't do that. You don't do that. But I understand her. I understand what she's saying, but she's wrong. But at the end of the day, I have to give the flip side of it because I lived in that world. And let me tell you what that world is. And that's why I say what we call it is say you roll a nigga. Because in that world, in the world that we're in, it's a business. Prostitution is the oldest profession of the world. And can't nobody go look at the history book. If you want a job, it's right next to nursing. There's nothing you can do about that, man or woman. Prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. Okay,
that's true.
So, okay, it's nothing we can do about that. Some people may think it's ratchet, and it is ratchet. I mean, it is. I mean, we ain't got to do that shit no more. If you got to do some shit in back in the day, don't mean you need to do it in 2019. But hey, that's the fact. That's the history. Look at the history of the profession of prostitution. So I don't want people, I'm not against prostitutes. That's all I gotta say.
Shit, me neither.
I ain't against. I mean, I just have to be honest. I'm not against it because they earning a living just like you motherfucking earning a living. Goddamn it! All right. So are you gonna fucking work? Whatever. You can legalize it or whatever the fuck you want to do. But I don't have any disrespect for that because I grew up around that, and it was a very respectful women and men in my realm. Okay, so now what Cardi B, she's like some fucking new prostitute. She's the old prostitute. She ain't OG. Okay, because nobody got rolled, nobody fucking drugged no nigga and robbed him. And let me tell you, if you got that done to you, when you say, oh, we going to roll that nigga, somebody going to roll him, it's because they did something wrong. They violated that goddamn contract. It's a contract. It's like anything else. You pay for your goods and services. Prostitution is a fucking goods and services. Whether you like it or not. And the reason why niggas don't want to come out if they got done wrong is because half the time they was in a dark world and they was married and they didn't want to get busted out from their wife, their fiance or girlfriend. But at the end of the day, it's business for us. Okay, it's a business contract and it's the oldest profession in the world and you gotta respect it. But she gotta respect it too. You don't go out here like putting out, the OG secret. She up there like she's just stupid, man. She should have never did that. You never did that. She violated everything. And all she did was roll this nigga. So all she did in her live stream was boo-hoo, I'm going to cry. This is what I had to do in my life. Whatever. When bitches been doing that for fucking 50, 100 years. And in my life, I ain't 100 years old. But come on, that's some old school shit. That's just the game. You don't need to be bitching and crying on no fucking live stream about our business. She wrong on that. And if she drugs somebody, if she's doing it off a different tip, nobody in that game and in that world, I grew up in that world as a baby. I was born in that world. That world, nobody gets treated like that unless they did wrong or violated. See, that's the street sense versus this fucking Twitter and all this other sense. That's the real game. The real game is no nigga gonna get rolled, no nigga gonna get robbed by no prostitute unless he violated his fucking contract. So you got a lot of niggas out there, they want goods and services, and they don't want to motherfucking pay. Okay? So you got to think of it in that sense. And so now she's elevating on this fucking platform. She got these Grammys or whatever. What the fuck, bitch? You done made it out of our world. Take it and go with your family, with your life, with your babies, with your husband. We happy you got out, man. Don't be trying to bring that shit back. Let it go. You're supposed to be happy. You done made it out of what we really know what's going on. But I understand. I understand her wholeheartedly. But we don't do anything outside of protocol. We're not doing anything outside of integrity. Ain't no nigga getting rolled unless they deserve to get motherfucking rolled. You hear me?
Well, so
and
now,
that's all I want to stop there.
Okay. Well, I got 2 questions for you, if you don't mind me asking. I think this is I think this is a great call to end it on. So question number 1, I guess, when you say no nigga gets rolled unless he deserves to get rolled. Do you think, as with a lot of things, that this younger generation has kind of changed the game up? Now they'd rather do that than put in the work, so they just rather set somebody up, ready to roll a nigga instead of putting in the actual work?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The game has definitely changed. The game with these younger women, who I would classify, and I would put Cardi B in that classification. They don't have no real struggle. All this shit is fake. It's fake struggle, fake rage, fake oppression. They have no real OG oppression like me. All they're doing is they're parroting. You call parroting. All right? They ain't had no pimps try to whoop their ass. And, they ain't had no. You got a clock. And you got to make your dollars per night. I mean, if that shit is a game, it's a business. All right? You got to make your money. All right? Did you make your $300 tonight by fucking some damn body? I mean, this will be unheard of in 2019, but it wasn't unheard of in my day.
There's a lot of renegades nowadays.
Yeah, it sounds real crazy or whatever, but it's real. But what I gotta say is that a lot of women did that because they didn't have no jobs, or they didn't have no man, or so I have an affinity for that, and I'm you already heard me on a couple of times. I'm a real serious. That's why I fight. I have a real understanding of that world. And I know these girls. These girls are not hoes. They don't want to be hoes. They're business women. They got to feed their savings. So we get in some underground world, and we get under a whole different set of circumstances that the half of these 2019 bitches don't know. That's why I shut them down every time. Okay? They really don't know the street. And our kids don't know the street, because we've made advances and we shelter them from what the real struggle is. So they all on some fake shit, and they really don't feel it for real. But sometimes you gotta let them feel it, man. So Cardi, maybe I think Cardi B went out on some fake shit. I think she feels the struggle. She knows the struggle. But she's not ready, okay? She got all that Oscar and all that, but she don't got the intelligence to back it up. So she's just coming shit straight from the street. You can talk the same shit you did on that live stream. You can do that in the street, and that shit will be handled. We got our own justice system. But you are also, you don't want to, you've been all on national. You've been elevated so high. You in a whole different world now. So nobody can protect you now. And you running a story that is not going to work in that mainstream white world that you have been catapulted in. So that shit in the underground work, that's what she used to. She in a world that she ain't used to. But I understand her totally. So in that world, in our world, you probably would have got away with that shit. But you ain't getting away with that in that world, but that's all she had to do. And I understand why she had to do it, trust me. Because it's a whole different world. I mean, it's ride or die. I mean, some of that shit is like, your life depends on that shit. But I know that it doesn't depend on you live streaming how you're drugging and robbing Negroes, because she also said that she has an affinity for Negroes. Okay, that's no excuse. So you are not, from the underground, I'm going upground. You are not going to put that on mainstream, that is something that goes on, because that's not a norm. So if you're doing that shit on the regular, you wrong, bitch. So I'll tell you from the street, you take it down. I'll break you down like a motherfucking Lego. You wrong, because I know this game. Okay? Now, if you got a rolling nigga and do something, it is not associated with wealth or gain. In other words, you ain't trying to gain nothing over somebody. When you're a prostitute, if you got to roll somebody, you got to roll them because that's some nigga that done treated you wrong. He violated the contract. Prostitution is a contract. It's a business. All right, you want to get fucked, and I want to get paid. Okay, so if you violated your motherfucking contract, and if you get a word out on the street or a reputation that this nigga, he don't want to pay, he want to get you up in the hotel, he want to do you like this, and then a lot of times, a lot of these women, they get violated. They get beat. You get a beat down. That's why you got to be ready. You got your mace. You got your little knives, because you don't know what this nigga's gonna confront you with when you in that hotel. It's a contract. You trying to do a business. It's understood. Hoeing or ain't hoeing. Hoeing ain't easy. That's all I got. Hoeing ain't motherfucking easy. Okay? So you get out here. You don't know what the fuck you are gonna confront with these fucking crazy people. And you got a lot of people that's out here hoeing that's just trying to feed their motherfucking kids. So that's why I have a problem with her trying to take what has to happen, what we use as protocol, and elevate it into mainstream. This underground, she's showing secrets. Okay, she's showing secrets. She's showing secrets in mainstream. When we know on the underground, bitch, you come up here, you get a reputation, it's going to get out. You better kill them. You better do something, because it's going to get out. Because if you come up with somebody up here faking, this is a goddamn contract. It's a business. Motherfuckers don't want to fuck you. Not for real. They just want to feed their motherfucking baby. So don't come up in this hotel room or wherever he is playing. So if you one of them fake people and want to do this and do that, then your name get out on the underground. They be like, all the prostitutes be like, roll that nigga. So I understand what she's saying. That's the nigga that get rolled. They get rolled based on circumstances. They did somebody wrong. But they just don't get rolled just for the sake of getting rolled, just for robbing them. So I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, maybe there's some new shit. I'm kind of OG. So I'm like trying to follow her.
Yeah, it's that brand new shit. You know, these young motherfuckers just be doing shit just because.
I tell you, hoeing ain't easy. I got to get up to date with the hoeing and all that.
they done updated the hoe codes. They done changed it up.
The hoe codes. But I wanted to get that out there, and I wanted to get the flip. I want the flip to be out there. Okay. Because it's it's something that I think needs to be understood, because we talk bitches, hoes, niggas, and all that. I really want to put a real story behind a hoe. Okay? Because that's what I was supposed to do. I was a baby of a hoe. I grew up in the pimp life, in the hoe life. Okay? So, and I'm none of those things. None of it. I've never hoed. I've never prostituted myself. I have a husband. I have kids, and I'm adored. I'm beautiful. And, I've never, but that's what happened in my life. I mean, I can't control my life. Yeah. But I can give an insight to, and I'm very, very smart. I went to school. I was raised by them, and I was raised by drug dealers, hoes, pimps, all that. And they, oh gosh, they just really protected me. They put me in the best that they could, the best schools. That's why I am who I am, and so I have to kind of speak out on that. Yeah. And they never. I just don't want people to like look down on that, but at the same time, they never. I understood because because I'm the baby and I wasn't put out there to be proliferated or to be in any kind of way exploited. They actually protected me very, very hard, and I think they did that because that was the best that they could do because they had like real bad times, and they put the best in me, you know. So I have to speak out.
So if you could take like one lesson from that whole situation, growing up, being around the pimps, the hoes, you know, drug dealers, things like that, like what one lesson growing up in that environment would you, if you were to share it with somebody, or the lesson that impacted you the most, what would you say that was?
The biggest lesson is that here's what I have to say, and here's what the misconception is. Don't go for what you call the okie doke. Don't go for what happened. And let me tell you the biggest problem I had: drugs and pedophiles. The biggest thing that I had to fight, I think, because people knew the status of like my mom and her pimp. But I had a dad, but my dad was locked up for conspiracy to murder, so he was gone. He just was gone, murder, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to deal with the pimp and the mom. Okay, my mom and her pimp at one time. He loved me. He pimped her. So that's not really loving me. It's a really crazy kind of situation. But here's what I understood. Because I think that people on the outside, when they came into our proximity, they thought that I was vulnerable. So I got approached a lot. I got a lot of men trying to touch me, to fight me. I even way back then, we talking about transgender. I had a transgender guy. Crack back then. That's when crack was in the, crack cocaine, right? You know that. Yeah. That's when that was like all major. I had, as a young girl, them trying to give me crack cocaine and they tried to pull me in the bathroom and make me smoke it. But I would never smoke it. I was so in tune to everything because I had like grown up between them. And so I will report that shit back to, I would fight. I was a fighter. I was so much of a fighter. I even tried to, I hate to say this on some damn internet, but I was like pulling out knives and everything I tried to stab my babysitter. I was not a normal child. Trust me. I was fighting. I was pulling out knives. I was trying to stab people and everything because I saw all this stuff around me at such a young age, and it almost traumatized me. And it traumatized me to the point I said, I never want to be like them. I never want to be like them. And so when these people used to come, and I knew, and I understood my mom, and they had problems, man. But I had to fend for myself, and I knew enough, and I knew that if they were in their right mind, trust me, folks would have been dead. Trust me, it would have been a wrap. It would have been somebody's obituary. But I had to fend for myself at times, and I knew because I knew the game, because they had me there, and it's not anything to glorify. It was terrible. It's a terrible position to put your child in. But I'm glad that they did it, and I could have synced the sails. I could have went either way. That's why I thank God today that He's given me all my strength and my wisdom, because I could have took those situations and went the wrong way. But I took them situations that was hurtful and painful, but I never went the wrong way because I actually developed a disdain for it. That's what helped me. But I could have went the other way. I could have went all this shit these people, they were trying to give me drugs. They were trying to, oh my gosh, it was so much stuff that I had to go through. But it just pained me so much, Honcho. I didn't want any parts of it. So my response was that I was a girl, pretty girl, and I used to act like a tomboy. This is way before, we talking way back. I'm 50 years old now. I would hoodie myself up. I would do everything. I would be in the streets. I didn't even want anybody to look at me as a girl because I knew the pimp game and somebody trying to rape me, and I always had to fight, man. I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm just going to put my hoodie on, and I'm going to be like, whoa. And then I'll pull a knife on your ass in a minute. But that was my defense. And it took me a while just to even want to be a woman, you know, and like the pretty girl that I was with my beautiful, like now I got a husband, I have 4 children. I mean, I'm 50 years old now, but, you know, that was my life, young, you know, because I was dealing with a bunch of druggies and pimps and hoes, and I was out there, so, and then I was a pretty girl. So I had to defend myself. The only thing I can do was, last thing I wanted to do was to be pretty in that environment. But that's how I learned all that stuff. So I just like, I don't really know how to explain it. I just went underground, like with my femininity. And I just went down, and I like, look, I had to do that because I didn't want nobody looking at me, man. I had pimps and hoes and everybody around me. I'm like, look, don't fucking look at me. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And that's how I survived, but that's how I learned at the same time. And so then I was like the little, and I was so ornery. See, that's why they couldn't get me as a hoe and get me pimped into the game. See, it's because I took that persona, and they like, oh, she's too much motherfucking trouble. She's easy. You know what I mean? But the people who were supposed to be, like, protecting me, they was all in the game, Honcho. I didn't have nothing to do but protect myself. So the way that I did it was I just acted a motherfucking fool. I acted so crazy because I said, I'm going to act so goddamn crazy. They ain't going to want to pimp me out. So I pulled knives on people. They said, oh, don't fuck with her. Just leave her alone. Put her in the corner, feed her. Just give her some food, feed her. So, yeah, you pimp these other bitches, but you ain't pimping me. And I was nothing but a youngin'. I was still young, but I understood. But I was so crazy where I think they wanted to groom me. I think that's what they wanted to do for me. But I just gave so much resistance. They said it was just too much trouble. Because I'm telling you, I would pull knives on them, fuck you and all this. I was just such a rebel that they said, I can't make her into a whole goddamn whose hotel room are you going to send her into? Man. She just is not. And that is my life. But I know and I understood I had to be that way. And I was so angry and I was so aggressive because the people that I loved, they was pimping them out. They was pimping them out, Honcho. And I had made it determined that you are not going to pimp me out like this. I knew it was my mom, it was my friends, people that I love, and Rudy, he was our main pimp. He was the main pimp. I was the child in that life, man. And I saw it. And I knew that I was supposed to be the next one. I was supposed to be the young. I'm supposed to be the new, I don't know, prostitute. I'm supposed to get pimped out and all that shit. You know, and I'm pretty, too. I'm cheap. But one thing, I saw what they did to all of my mom and people that I love and everything in my life. And I don't blame them. I love them to this day. They did the best they could. They didn't know no better. That's why I'm going to be full hoes because it's a business, right? They just doing the best. She did the best she could for me. But at the same time, you ain't hoeing when it comes to what they doing and your child, that's two different things. Shit get ugly. People almost gonna die behind that shit. I mean, it's serious in this game. Yeah. And I think I was kind of being almost about to be groomed for that, but it got real ugly. I mean, it got real ugly. That's why that didn't end up being my life. I have a wonderful life now because that's what my mama made for me. What she did what she had to do, only what she can do. Okay? That's not what she wanted for me. And I saw it because I saw it. So, young, you don't really know. But I'm telling you know, kids are smarter. You got to give them more credit than you do. Yeah. And I knew there's no signals that I got in that environment that that's what I was supposed to be. And I fought like hell. That's why I am the person that's calling into the den right now, a mother of 3 children, happily married, almost 10 years. Yeah. So I have to, but I understand that street protocol and, you know, and the stuff that Cardi B is doing. I understand. I was in the hoeing game. I was a child of a hoe. Okay, trust me. I understand all that shit. And she done violated every goddamn thing. First of all, nobody got rolled. Nobody fucking got rolled unless they fucking deserved it. You hear me? We ain't dirty. We ain't dirty. We ain't not dirty. This is a business. If you out here trying to fuck around with what you contracting for, hiding shit from your motherfucking girlfriend and your motherfucking wife, that ain't our business. That's your business. You don't come and try to make like we're degenerates. You want to take advantage of us because, well, no, you the one fucking who is the degenerate? If we so low life, what the fuck are you coming here to try to fuck some goddamn body? You're the fucking degenerate. Especially if you're married or got a fiance. This is business for us.
So who do you think has the upper hand in that situation? You say it's a contract, you know. In a contract, you know, it takes 2 to get some business done.
It's a verbal contract, yes.
Okay, so who do you feel has the upper hand in that situation? The trick or the hoe?
I say again, I can't repeat that question.
I said in that contract, who has the upper hand, the trick or the hoe?
No, I think the hoe has the upper hand because the trick is coming for services. The hoe already is a fucking hoe. She already letting you know who she is. She's a hoe. You know exactly what you coming for. Don't play fucking games. And don't play from your fiance, your girlfriend, or your motherfucking wife. And another thing that I really, really think is important for our young men, I'm a black woman, I want to get our young men strong. Okay, you got to get your dick in order. You got to really control your dick. Okay? In other words, don't get all, out of order about some sex.
It's true.
Because that sex can get you in trouble. And so here's the point. Just what they say. You might get the big coke and smile, big ass and smile. Coke and smile, ass and smile. Cardi B, big ass, pretty face. Okay. And you going to get caught all up. If you don't have discipline, you teach your young men discipline. You teach them not to get caught up in no ass, in no motherfucking smile. Because what we were learning in 2019, these bitches will drug you and roll you. That's what Cardi B did. She violated street code. You don't do that unless you get violated. Nobody rolls nobody for nothing. That's what we call a roll. A nigga don't get rolled unless a nigga did wrong. That's street code. She out there fucking rolling niggas for no fucking reason. She don't got no rhyme or reason. If he ain't did you wrong, you don't rob him, you do. It's a contract. You see him here. If he wants sex, he's paying for it. Bitch, you better fuck her. Because that's what you contracted for. This business out here. And then our youngins, they confused because we all in some fucking raggedy shit. You got to let them know, don't get excited over no big ass or no pretty motherfucking face.
Right.
Because that shit is the straight up motherfucking devil. That's what I told my motherfucking son. You don't give a fuck about none of that. That is not what drives you or moves you. Don't let that move you or rule you, or that is going to be the demise of you.
Man, you know, Belle Biv DeVoe told him, don't trust that big button to smile.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's like, it's kind of wild, and I want to, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet with the Cardi B, and she's a culture vulture and all this kind of shit. But I kind of feel sorry for her because, and you up there, come on, you done crossed the line, baby girl. You done came from the underworld to with the quote unquote. I mean, you in the big world, man. So come on, get the fuck out. This is what we hope for. Everybody in the underworld hope for somebody to cross over. You know what I mean? Get up out this world, man. Get up out this stripper world. Get up out this whole world. We be like rooting for them motherfuckers. How you gonna get up and cross over and like act like this and like fucking tell secrets and shit? And then you stupid because your motherfucking ass about to get locked up because you don't even understand. Because you on some bullshit. You can do that shit in the street, but you can't do that shit at the level you at now. Now the FBI and police gonna be knocking on your motherfucking door because you talking about you done drugs and fucking robbed somebody. Okay, what about Bill Cosby? He never even admitted that he drugged anybody. It was some bitches from 20. Like we talked about that first phone call. 20 dick years later, and he getting locked up on 20 dick years later. Bitch, you are in the frame of a prosecution, and you actually just admitted guilt to 2 felonies. That's what the bitch did. She admitted to 2 felonies with that fucking downstream, talking about I done fucking wanted to fuck somebody, and then I drugged them and robbed them. Now we got a nigga coming down. I said, oh snap. Niggas is gonna come through now. It got one already then came up. Said, oh, I remember Cardi B. She took my Louis Vuitton belt. She robbed me at $800, and she drugged me. So, do you think that nigga ain't gonna fight? Because he is not beyond what you call statute of limitations. You young ass bitch. You taking some shit from the streets to the mainstream, don't even fucking know the law. So now these niggas, it's gonna be a whole rack of niggas. Man. Trust me. She done open herself up. Everybody gonna be like, now it's gonna be flip on your ass. He's gonna flip from me to me him. All these me hims gonna be like, oh, Cardi B fucking drugged me and stole my shit and all these lawyers, and bitch, you gonna have a bill that you probably wouldn't ever fucking even imagine.
Man, look, I think, matter of fact, I think I was in New York one time. I think I might have hit the strip club. I might have got robbed. I don't even know, Said, look, hey, we trying to reach the goal in this D, and I'm gonna say some anything, goddamn it.
Well, you may have got drugged and didn't even know it, but I'm saying if one man already coming out, I'm telling you there's gonna be more men. She done opened herself up. Because she's a young, she ain't like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's accusers were like 20 years back. She had just came on the scene. Cardi B is a new scene type of persona. Yeah. So you was only a stripper only about 5 years back. You went to statute of limitations, goddammit. Yeah. And niggas is gonna get her and win to that. And niggas ain't got a motherfucking job either. Oh, fuck it. I do the same one. Oh, if I was a nigga, I'd do the same thing. Oh, Cardi B, she drugs me, and I'll put a fucking $1 million lawsuit on her ass too. She about to be broke. And Offset are going to leave Offset, whatever. That's bullshit.
Shit, but I own the Migos too. Fuck that. Fuck Cardi B. I'll be the Migos manager. I'll be Cardi B manager. I'm on all the checks, goddamn it.
Yeah, but you feel me though? She really opened her stuff unnecessarily. And I believe, even though I understand her game, you have a very unusual perspective for me because I've been in her game. She was out of line. First of all, she took the game to the mainstream. That's private. That should have never been put mainstream. And then she did it in the wrong way. In the underground, ain't no nigga getting rolled or robbed unless they violate the contract. We ain't dirty like that. We got protocols right here. So she's just trying to make the shit like she just had to do it to survive. So that tells me, oh, you ratchet out here. You out here rolling niggas for no reason. In other words, you don't present yourself as a product. She came out and said she was a prostitute. That's a contract. That's business. So you ratchet. You presented yourself as a product, but yet you drugged and rolled and robbed the nigga and didn't give him his what he paid for or potentially paid for. So even in a mainstream business sense, you out of business. That's not how you conduct business. I don't care if it's in the underworld or the overworld or the normal world. You don't conduct business like that. If you you obviously shook your ass, and did whatever you did with that hotel room. You knew exactly what you were going there for. That's your fucking contract. Now, if you didn't get paid, you deserve to roll the nigga. When you go back, you let your other little hoes know, like we do in the street. We gonna get that nigga next time. We gonna roll him. So we already know that protocol. But you don't do that. You don't do that unless it's deserved, and you don't brag about it. That's the last thing you do is fucking brag about it, man. That's some weak ass shit. You don't brag about that shit. We do what we gotta do and handle our business, man. You don't brag about that shit and put it out in the world like she just did.
Yeah, I agree.
So whatever the fuck she got to deal with, she got to deal with. So now that you bragged about that shit, so now it's a bunch of niggas I believe sitting around don't got no motherfucking job under Trump and all this drama we dealing with. And oh God, I already told about Sweet Britches Justice. I ain't even trying to deal with Sweet Britches right now. We got so much shit, it's ridiculous. We got so much shit we can't even have a break. My mind is spinning, man. My mind is spinning. All the drama. But her drama, she added more drama to all the drama with the R. Kelly and the Jussie. Now we got Cardi. What the fuck else? Bitch? Come on now. Have some respect for the hood and for the game. Have some respect for the game. Don't add more. And she, as a matter of fact, I think she was one of the ones that came out there, Jussie is making the Black History Month a terrible month. I think she did another live stream like that. Okay, you feel me? What the fuck are you doing? So now, I'm telling you, it's going to be, I don't think she really understands what she did by doing that. It's going to be a whole bunch of Negroes, and I hope they do. Call your lawyers. Tell them, Cardi B drugged me in a hotel and I won $1 million. The bitch got a gram. She got plenty of money.
And the pussy was funky. I had to smell that shit. The room smelled toxic. It was bad. I'm throwing everything I can in there, so they're gonna have to put it. It's gonna be on legal record. Goddamn, she gonna have to pay me. I'm finna say everything. I'm finna say all kind of shit about it.
But she don't. I don't think she really realized what she did. And not only that, she is more vulnerable than the Kellys and the Cosbys. Think about it. Kelly and Cosby, all of these accusers were accusing and making accusations for shit that happened 20 years. The shit that Cardi B just got on the map in the past, 5 years. Their asses, them Negroes is within statutes of limitations. They gonna get paid. Go get your bag, Negro. Go get your bag. All right, it's Cardi. No, go get your bag. You don't disrespect my men like that because you violated the motherfucking contract. I know the whole gang. Hoeing ain't easy. And she exploits the motherfucking gang. So go get your bag.
You heard me?
That's all I gotta say. Go get your bag.
Already. Man, Miss Sean, you know I appreciated the call. You know, I seen you calling in. I knew it. Like I said, I couldn't leave you hanging.
Though. I hope I don't be too harsh. I'm not a bad person, and I don't want to be, because I think I got a little tempered with everybody or whatever because of my aggression. But my aggression is really about love. That's why I want to let everybody know. I sometimes I got to be aggressive because it's a bunch of stuff that I know. If I don't get it out, I may not be here or living long enough to tell you. So don't take me wrong. I love everybody in the I really love that little Roman. But I only do it because I'm gonna beef a little like Mike from Chicago. I'm waiting for his ass, okay? So I am waiting for him because he called me a bitch. So I'm gonna deal with him one-on-one. But other than that, I don't have any problems with anybody, and I'm very, very passionate because I feel it's like I may not have too much, time to live, and I just want to give all my wisdom, and I don't care, love me or leave me, it doesn't matter, pick the sense from the nonsense, the shit from sugar. I mean, if you sit up there uptight about what somebody say, then that means that you got to reflect. There's nothing that nobody say should keep you off your game or off your focus. Okay, so maybe that's what we need to teach, fundamental number one. Don't worry about nobody say, but I'm going to put what the fuck I want to say. Ain't nobody going to stop me from what I got to say. And I only say what I say because I love my people. I try to do my talk straight to my people. And I just give them everything I know. That's all I got to give, other than what I learned. And I ain't telling you nothing wrong. Right. I'm only telling you what I learned. So you can take it, learn from it, or you can make my same mistake. I done made a lot of mistakes in my life. So that's all. It's all in love, and it gets hard because sometimes I got to go hard for people to listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it ain't nothing for me. Look, I sit back, hang up the phone, and drink my lemonade, and I'm good. Trust me. I ain't suffering at all.
Man.
You hear me? And I love you, Honcho. I really do.
Well, I love you too, Sunshine. I appreciate you calling in and you spicing up the den. And again, we need those perspectives. And I'm glad you shared that with us. I'm glad you shared that confession with us too. I know that's not something most people will come out and say. So I appreciate that.
Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully, every day. We never know. There's always drama.
Yeah, it's gonna be so. We got like a week full of stuff to talk about. I got plans for the rest of the dens for the rest of the week, so we're gonna have some drama to talk about. It's a bunch of shit going on.
Okay, good night.
All right, good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. On that note, I said I was gonna wrap it up like 5 calls ago. Like at the 2 hour mark, we went way past 2 hours. I fuck with y'all. Damn, did I lose that fight too? Okay, I won. I had to whoop 335 real quick. Here's the deal, man. We're finna get ready to wind it down. Cause I have to take another leak before you know it. But TMI. But here's the deal. Sometimes I know people wonder, well, so why you be letting things go on long, or people may disagree. Here's something I've learned in life, though, man, honestly. And I guess I didn't really think it was a thing. But even when I was young, I always listened to people, Because even if you don't agree with 100% of what people say, if you don't agree with everything that people say, there's always nuggets that you can take from what people say. And sometimes those nuggets can be life-changing. Sometimes those nuggets can be just a little bit of information, just a thing that you need to hear to keep you motivated, to keep you pushing, or to fix that little hole that you're trying to figure out, or whatever it may be, that you got going on. Sometimes it's just the thing you need to hear. Sometimes you need to hear that somebody's going through a situation that, you thought you had some shit going on, and it can put you in a better light, man. Like I say, you just never know what the next person has going on. I don't think that, we live in a world of super fast pace. There's always this, that, all these notifications on the phone, all kind of shit always going on. that I think sometimes it's important to listen. You know, like I say, yeah, if the den was in a position to go longer, should I be in the den all goddamn day? Because the den just is just it's a different. But I love the sauce. Don't get me wrong, I love the sauce. But the sauce, like I say, be too dependent on them goddamn texts and they ain't doing shit. And then you try to tell motherfuckers, they get mad at you, go, you're being so negative, but then the shit start happening in front of your face, and then what? But anyway, I think it's very important to listen. Like I say, and by listening doesn't mean that you always agree with everything. You know, I'm not a person, like I say, that's why a lot of times I listen, you know, see me jot down things, and I usually, you know, try to do my rebuttals afterwards. Sometimes I do interject. I try my best. I need to work on that. But like I said, I try to give people their time, let them speak. And I know, you know, we didn't blew out the 5-minute rule tonight. But I think it's important to listen. This is my little Jerry Springer at the end of the show moment. I ain't got nothing written down. I need to start writing something down. You know, we all just got to come together and talk about things. No. But I think it's important to listen, man. And so take some time out every day, if you can squeeze it in, and just listen to somebody. And, you know, I think that's important. Kenneth, that's what your mama say. You know, I'm gonna be over there later. You know, Gary come on late night like Santa Claus. But I think that sometimes you just got to see things from different people's perspective and why they think the way that they do. But with that being said, I was halfway catching a little glimpse of what you said. That's why I say I can't read the chat no more during fucking phone calls, because y'all be distracting the motherfucker. But I fucks with y'all. I appreciate y'all fuck with me. I appreciate y'all fucking with the den. And like I say, this community that we're establishing, that we're growing, I think it's a special thing. I don't think you're getting conversations like this anywhere else. On the internet, on TV. You're not getting these conversations anywhere else in the world but the den, okay? So I'm telling y'all, encourage your friend. If you got a friend that just need a little bit of spice in their life, you know, a friend that might be an insomniac, tell them, hey man, just slide into the den at 10, you know, and you know, speak your piece. Hey man, look, Jack. Yeah, you said disrespect ain't allowed, but you're open for ridicule respectfully. Yeah, I mean, here's the point, man. It's about having fun. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be we're not gonna be a bunch of Heidi's in here, you know. But you can call, but ain't nobody gonna answer. But here's the deal, man. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and be ready to wrap it up, and I appreciate y'all for joining me this evening. Back at it tomorrow, same day and time. Same den channel, 10 p.m. Central to midnight. I say to midnight, then we end up going past that. But it's all good. I'm going to be up late anyway tonight because I got some other stuff I got to work on, so I ain't tripping tonight. But, yeah, thank you, DeMarcus. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, DeMarcus. I was just about to get on it. But I appreciate y'all, man. I thank y'all. And until tomorrow, look, y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all already know how this shit go. Y'all do got to get the fuck up out of here. Yeah, brother, I ain't gonna lie, I'm playing favorites. See, the other thing you gotta understand, if you want me to listen to you for a long time, you gotta have breasts. I listen to a woman, I just listen to her, and I'll be imagining things, man. I'm fucking with y'all. Get out of here before I get some trouble. Y'all gonna me too, my motherfucker.